Doomer Fridays, guys.
A plus, Justin.
Wow.
Mr. Justin
Incredible.
for the win.
Oh, there's Pavel.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Welcome to Doomer Fridays.
Here we go.
Easy listening. Yacht rock.
That was amazing.
I love yacht rock, and I'm into this thing. What did you call it, Dan? Good, bad music?
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, I'm into it too. I love it.
What was it? What was the song? Oh God, I was just listening to one the other day that I was like, I got to text Dan. Anyway,
I love that.
welcome, guys. It's a night shift. It's 1:30 p.m. on the East Coast, and it's Doomer Friday as we're careening into World War III, and Chris Bledsoe is coming out smelling like roses, I think, by the end of this year.
So far, so good, Bledsoe. So far, so good.
Oh, what should we talk about first, guys? We have so many things to kick around. I feel like Bledsoe, Pavel, this is on your mind. You're muted.
Pavel, you're muted. Amateur.
Sorry.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so there's a tweet from UAP Juan that I showed you guys earlier that sort of describes the situation this week alone. But I would also add the announcement from NASA that they're going to build a moon base, which was pretty significant. I mean, the plans were to have a station orbiting the moon, but now they changed it completely. So they're just building a moon base flat out. And then the plan is to build a nuclear-powered spacecraft that is going to Mars and then drop a bunch of drones there so we can have more presence in Mars as human civilization, not just the US, right? But they want to like essentially call dibs on the moon. That's what this feels like.
NASA races to have first moon base and nuclear propulsion spacecraft. Wow. Says over the next 7 years, the agency is planning to launch dozens of mostly robotic missions to the moon at an estimated cost of $20 billion, with the goal of establishing a permanent moon base. NASA officials announced March 24th. Wow.
When were we last on the moon? 70 something?
70 something, yeah.
72?
Artemis is doing a orbit, right? Aren't they going to fly
next week, a few days from now.
Artemis 2, and then Artemis 3 is going to land, right?
Yes.
And that's in what? 2 years?
That's the plan.
2 years.
Artemis 2 is the one that's going around the dark side.
Yes.
Does anyone here think that they're gonna show us anything from that?
No.
I mean, who knows what they will see even? So I don't think so.
I think they know what they're gonna see. I would think.
This is what's so interesting is like we spent $20 billion in the last week going to war with Iran. And that is the 7-year budget that they've assigned to accomplishing nuclear propulsion and moon base. That's pretty fucking awesome. Like the ROI on investing in NASA is so much bigger than people appreciate. This organization is chronically underfunded for the shit that they have been able to accomplish.
Yep.
Agreed.
Did you guys see the George Knapp tweet to like Mark Christopher Lee?
Yes.
We can finally put that to bed.
I'll find that and I'll show it.
What was that about?
I've been trying to report on this for a while because I had different data of people that were trying to get Trump to say something. I didn't hear anything about any speeches, which is why I didn't report it at the beginning. But then Lara Trump came out, said something about the speech, and then there was this back and forth between Obama and Trump. And this guy hinted that Robert Bigelow was his source or one of his two sources. So I tried to ask people who know Robert Bigelow, and they told me that it was possible that it was something along those lines. But I did say in my most recent 2 videos that I still didn't believe it because I thought that Robert Bigelow was the one who had to come forward to confirm it. And nothing against Mark, but nobody really ever believed that. And if they did, it's questionable though. And George came out with that tweet yesterday to just likely put the thing to bed. He said that it's BS and that he spoke to Robert Bigelow just half an hour before he tweeted. And Mark is like trying to defend himself, but I don't think it's possible, if I'm honest with you. Like, this is pretty straightforward and definitive, if you ask me.
So the original email was for those from Mark. He said, for those who keep messaging me, re my source and Trump's UFO speech, here is an email from one of the sources, Robert Bigelow. And then obviously we have this email, which, I mean, it's strange that he picked an email from very recently.
It says, okay,
that's exactly when you would send an email to cover up your tracks, to try and make stuff up. So
this is Mark Christopher Lee writing to.
This is an email from Robert Bigelow, allegedly.
Mark, I wanted to reach out privately regarding the situation. There continues to be considerable pushback from certain elements who effectively control the UFO agenda. These forces are determined to prevent any form of true disclosure. I have used what influence I possess to advocate for more meaningful transparency, but it has become clear that what will be released will amount to little more than superficial tidbits. Nothing of substance will address the true mystic nature of the phenomenon. Your recent efforts are noted. These matters are complex and deeply layered. Yours, Robert Bigelow.
RB.
No, and George just straight up, this is bullshit.
I just got off the phone with him 30 minutes ago. He says he has never met, spoken to, or emailed Mr. Lee. Anyone who knows Mr. B is aware he would never share private, sensitive info with some random UFO guy in a foreign country. It's not only false, but preposterous. Wow.
George is
Shots fired.
Implying there that this guy is flat out just making up images and editing them and showing them as true, which is,
I think that's exactly, a
reputation killer, if you ask me. If you get caught doing that shit, you're done.
It does seem that way. The email was sent it was 3 days ago he allegedly received that. And that's a long time. Yeah, that's a long time between. Maybe show us some of your older correspondence we have dated before you were questioned on the authenticity of your claims,
or at least show the beginning of the email address or something. You don't have to show the whole thing, but something, or confirm it with someone who might have the email address. Say, and
I'm so Mark calling bullshit on Christopher Lee at this point. I'm very comfortable doing that.
So Mark Christopher Lee, lay out this timeline in order of events. Like, what chronologically happened and when? Who said what when?
The beginning of the year, sort of like January, February, something like that. He came out with a video saying that breaking news. I hear that there's like a speech from a source that I have vetted. He said that Donald Trump is preparing a speech for July 8th. And then my source is going to come out on May the 1st to talk about this speech. That was the initial report that he did. And then everybody started running with it. As I told you, he did another 2 videos, giving updates on the same thing. But then when Lara Trump came forward to talk about the speech, that's when I was like, wait, what? So, and
because she said she talked to Eric.
Yes.
She's married to Eric Trump.
Yes.
And she said Eric, right?
She said they were together in a conversation with Trump, her and Eric, and they asked him about it, and that he was really coy, he wouldn't give up information. And it seemed weird. He does
that with every question, though. He's always like, maybe I will, maybe I won't.
Yeah,
maybe I can. I can do whatever I want. Actually, a lot of people say, "What do you think?" And then you're like, "What? What are we talking about?"
Huh?
Yeah.
With that email, it would be interesting if he has never received an email from Robert Bigelow. I wonder if that's how Robert Bigelow signs his emails. It says, "Thanks, RB." And
yours. He
That's
says
very
yours,
specific.
RB.
Yeah, who writes yours?
Yeah.
Someone like Robert Bigelow, actually.
Well, Robert
I can actually see him
Bigelow.
doing that. Yeah. He
In
is a
his
little bit of
ascot
that.
with his cool Tony Stark mustache and his weird space hotel. This guy is the coolest billionaire. He's like, some billionaires are just super weird, but he's like a comic book billionaire.
And Matt Bell is also pretty cool, and he's also funding weird shit. So, yeah.
I love it. I love when people are just, I love when people have a childlike curiosity and excitement about the unknown, and they also have the financial means to just be like, fuck it, I'm going for it. I'm going to figure this out. Whatever I can do, I'm going to do. It's like the ultimate cool hobby. If you can afford to do it. I got an email from someone this last weekend, about a group that did a presentation at the UAP Tracking and Detection Summit, and they had put together, I'll find the link here, a $500 package of off-the-shelf technology that you can buy to set up your own automated UAP detection and tracking system.
I saw that too.
You saw that, right? What's the name of this company? It has a cool name.
I think an acquaintance of ours is doing that. Jared, isn't he? Jared Yates, or that's
a bunch of people were doing. I know a couple of different people were doing it in some form or another. But yeah. Anyway, I think it's cool. Anybody who has the ability to get out there and do this stuff.
Offering this?
I'm trying to find the link, and I have to go back and dig into my email. I had it just pulled up a minute ago, but I closed that window. So give me a second, and I'll dig it up.
By the way, I think just any one of us here would basically be Robert Bigelow if we were billionaires. I think we would all be putting money towards this stuff, right? I think everyone.
Dude, he's so cool. He's like Vincent Price. He's like, he lives in like a weird like castle. He's got like an alien head on the side of his building. He's funding research into ghosts and paranormal stuff and other dimensions, and like, if you're like, is there life after death? He has an answer, and it's like a really good answer. This guy is awesome.
Pavel, did you say that? I mean, is this a paraphrase? Did Mark Christopher Lee really say that he had to vet his source? His source being
he said he vetted Bigelow. His source at the beginning. Yeah.
Right. Well, why would you need to vet Bigelow? You see his face on a Zoom call. You're kind of like, okay, I think you're vetted now.
Yeah, he's been doing this for 30 years.
One of the first inconsistencies that, and on the first video, because when I was talking to Patrick on the show, we talked about that. It's like, dude, he changed the story from I vetted my source to it's Robert Bigelow. Why would you vet one of the most famous people in ufology?
If anything, he should have been vetting Mark.
Yeah, but okay, but this, and this is the web page that I was mentioning a second ago, the UAP tracking stuff, which we'll get to in just a second. But the Bigelow thing, so he said that's he made up this email, which that's got to be legally questionable, right? Can you do that? Can you just say that a billionaire guy is emailing you and making claims about the president? Or is
one of the reasons why people just don't go up against billionaires, because they can just legally destroy your life.
Just tie them up in court.
If you do that shit and they don't like it, they can just destroy your life.
Well, that would be my first question, because that's real consequences for this guy if he's out there lying. And so that's one thing. But the Laura Trump thing threw me too, because why would she say definitively, that she was told a speech was ready?
Yes.
So the question is, like, did Trump just kind of like pawn it off as sort of like a maybe it is, maybe it's not, or was she really told there's like actually a speech written?
And there's also a correlation there with Bigelow being a Trump donor. Right. That's also real. That also happened. He donated almost $1 million or something like that, which is not like, that's life-changing money for anybody, regular folk,
I would, and this is hard for me to say because I know you, I mean, anybody who knows me knows I have, I'm sensitive to this politically, but I would say this, if I had the means, if I was in Bigelow's shoes, I would donate to whoever is president. I'd make sure I was donating to the president, and
yes,
Republican or Democrat.
That's a very aerospace thing to do anyway. Don't they donate to both sides of the aisle, Lockheed and all of that?
Yep, it is. And then when the party wins, that's who they keep donating to.
Especially for the people in their districts.
Yes. In Ohio, I'm pretty sure that they do that.
This is cool as hell. Whatever this system is here.
How do we pronounce this name? Eldeon?
Dionysus. Oh.
Eldeon?
Dionysus multi-sensor UAP detection platform. So this is I have not had time to really research this and learn what it's all about. So I'm looking at this more or less for the first time myself. But it looks basically like a sensor suite package, kind of pre-built and ready to go in a Pelican case.
Did they talk about this at the UAP seminar thing?
Yes,
and I was in the airport watching this presentation.
That video was who the person who sent me this email linked to that, and I have it as well. So I'll put that video in the chat for people. That's the event that Reed Summers has put on to try and basically maybe not crowdsource, but sort of open source the conversation about technology stacks. Like, how do we find these things? How do we track them? How do you get civilian data that you can use to support or refute the claims that the government is making about whatever? He's like, his whole concept is you can't just have government data and ever have the full picture, because they're not going to give it to you. So you've got to figure out how to get different teams looking at this problem in different ways, like a hackathon style thing. And so he brought together all of these different groups that are doing some form of UAP detection or tracking. And then that's what the UAP summit was about, for people who don't know. And this group is one of the groups that presented a sensor package. And it looks like here, thermal, infrared, UV, passive radar, radio frequency sensing, and radiation detection integrated into a single coherent detection platform, edge deployed, compact, integrated pan tilt tracking, automated targeting, and real-time signal correlation across sensors, no manual operation required, fully self-directing in the field. That's badass. We have deployed alongside other UAP detection teams and built what they haven't: automated tracking, true mobility, real-time sensor fusion, and systems ready for rapid deployment, plus consciousness interface. Holy shit. EEG plus TRNG integration to study observer intent. Whoa, this is some Ghostbusters shit right here. This is real.
I was gonna say full Ghostbusters for sure.
Badass gear. Thermal A, thermal B, 12 meg, all sky CMOS sensor. Wow, this is just the electro-optical. Here's the RF pack. Quantum muon detector and atomic clocks. For real? What?
Whatever a muon is.
That's a heavy electron.
Watch your mouth.
Obviously. Yes. Are you calling me fat?
What are these? How much are these?
So it says the Dionysus system, enterprise system, is Eldeon's flagship multi-sensor UAP detection platform, a fully integrated field-proven detection stack engineered to detect, classify, and characterize unconventional anomalous phenomena with unprecedented fidelity. Purpose-built for research institutions, government, law enforcement, defense contractors, and serious private investigators. Dionysus fuses over 25 sensors. Okay, so this is, wow. Oh, we need to have these guys come on the show. It doesn't. Okay, Nemesis passive radar, $50 deposit. That's a passive radar. What does this cost? Catalog.
Are they even available yet?
Oh, it looks. Here it is. 25,000. Okay, 25,000. So, but 25,000 is a car. I mean, that's not everybody. Not everybody's going to stroke a check for 25K, but a lot of people can. And you could crowdfund it. If we were, like maybe Night Shift could buy one. We could get enough people to kick in.
You heard it, folks.
Set it up over at Eric's place out in the mountains.
Oh, hell yeah. We'll get something.
I'm only half joking with this idea. I'm making this up as I go. So
we should do this. And by the way, Eric's spot is good. We talked to Eric. I mean, obviously we all talk offline too. Eric has sightings at his home. It seems almost daily. You said to the point now that you've seen so many things in orbs and so many weird things that it's almost become like not super interesting.
Yeah.
Or you're just used to it.
I hate to say it, at this point, it's pretty much boring. So I moved to the San Luis Valley of Southern Colorado in August. I've mentioned it many times before. This is a former or active Kona Blue observation site. They have 3 in the United States. The other one is Missouri and another one at Skinwalker. And I've seen orbs probably every other night since August 5. And I say orbs because I've put a lot of effort into trying to figure out if these are just something I don't understand and they have an earthly explanation. I submitted all my data to Americans for Safe Aerospace and MUFON, and I was actually in touch with the FAA up in Denver, and no one knows what these objects are. They're seen nightly. I've observed them from 5 different locations for a total of 24 hours. I have absolutely no idea what they are. The only place I've seen outside of here is northern New Mexico near Las Cruces for 2 nights. So that's the thing, is if this is an innocent explanation, why have I only started seeing them in August? I've been camping my whole life. And why haven't I seen them in any other part of the United States? The San Luis Valley is a known UFO hotspot. There's actually a similar system to what Clint just described 4 miles from my house. A guy invented his own camera system, and he's collecting data as well. So it's a known spot for UFO observations and kind of weird stuff. And yeah, Dan, at this point, like, I don't even go out at night. I'll be washing the dishes, glance out the window, and there's 3 or 4 odd objects in the sky, and I go about my business. I just saw one on my ride last night. They like flew over me. But I've collected as much data as I can. I'm really
what did it look like? The one you saw last night. What did it look like? The most recent one you saw. What did it actually look like to you when you were looking at it?
A self-illuminated round object that doesn't emit sound. Colors have run the gamut from red to aqua to white to yellow. And it cruises at a consistent speed. It has no lighting consistent with FAA protocol. It doesn't show up on any of my radar tracking apps. And it's a series of objects flying in formation or solo. They can rise directly from the horizon. They can fly parallel. And then my best friend and I saw one join together. One was parked, the other one came up, and then it's just the remaining stationary object. You know, I'm limited to what I have here. I have a good pair of binoculars. I have a couple cameras. So it'd be great if somebody could come down here and tell me what the hell I'm looking at, because I just can't collect any more data. Being the data nerd I am, and I like to overthink things, I have 16 pages of data, like the observation posts, the compass bearings, above ground level, elevation, everything. And no one knows what these things are. No one.
And you have a bunch of videos too, a bunch of videos.
Mm-hmm. And a bunch of videos. Yeah.
And they're weird.
They're quite weird. Just these round, silent objects. Only one has flown over my house, and that was a red one, which me and my girlfriend watched, and it extinguished itself when it got over top of us in the backyard.
Did it go off immediately, or did it fizzle out?
It faded quickly. It didn't blink out, but gone.
Right.
I've seen shit like that so many times.
In 2023, in October 8th, 2023, I was in the desert leaving a Tool concert, and there was a dark field next to me. I saw something in the sky, super weird, and then in this field next to me, completely black field, this orange orb, basically same thing you're talking about, like popped up in this field out of nowhere, and then there's maybe 50 yards from me, and shot towards my car at an insane speed. And right before it hit my car, it disappeared. Like you just said, it kind of did this thing right before it hit my car.
Right.
Weird as hell. Yeah.
Yeah. I have no idea what I'm seeing. Yeah. Yeah. And I've shared the videos with a physicist friend of mine. And it's really funny. My girlfriend at the time was there's a bunch of hot springs in the valley, and they were up doing a night observation for stars. And there was an ex-NASA guy there, and one of them came out, and they had a telescope, and he couldn't explain it either.
Bizarre.
No one can. I don't know what they are.
We got to do a road trip, guys.
I think
road trip.
we should reach out to these guys that make this sensor pack and see what they say. Maybe
we should reach out to these orbs. Oh, sorry. Let's just reach out to these orbs and ask.
Hey, haven't you heard those orbs are angels, and they're here to save us from ourselves? So,
are we going there?
Maybe we should reach out to those orbs. I don't know what else we can do, really. I mean, what else?
There's a lot of stuff falling from the sky these days. So,
what is up with those? By the way, what's happening with these meteors or whatever? What is going on? What's going on?
I don't know.
Which story are you guys talking
conventional about? Stuff.
Have you seen that over the last 2 weeks? There's fireballs falling from the sky more consistently than ever. Like since 2012, that hadn't happened. There's images from Ohio, from Texas, from California. Here in Mexico, we had a couple last week as well. And nobody knows what it is. It just increased activity by 200% or something like that.
Yeah, it's insane.
But it's not a meteor shower like any normal meteor shower. That looks like a meteor.
I think the vast majority of them are just, people are starting to just. This was confirmed as a remote control with pyrotechnics on the back. This is what I mean. Like, I think there's a lot of, maybe there were one or two meteors caught on camera, and then people are sort of jumping on the bandwagon a little bit. Like, and I'm not saying the drone flap was fake, but there were a lot more people putting drones in the air at the time simply because there was so much stuff going on in the sky. So people it sort of compounds on itself. And I think this is a bit of an example of that. Like, that one is absolutely conventional. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying they all are, but it might be a much smaller phenomenon than we think.
The ones that look green, those ones are like just meteors falling. And we did have like 4 or 5 of them over the last week or so. Those are real, but that one that you showed, that one is conventional. Yeah.
And one of them people heard hit the ground, didn't they? Someone felt like the impact.
Yes.
The world's falling apart, guys.
So there's no explanation whatsoever so far for this?
I mean, Ryan Bledsoe has an explanation for them.
What does Ryan say? Let's just tackle that. What does Ryan say?
Well, the usual.
The usual. At this point, it's still anybody's game. Could be angels.
Easter is right around the corner, so I don't know.
What's the? People are just sort of reporting this stuff, so it's just a lot more of this going on right now. Just strange things falling, just meteors and things.
And a lot. All around the world. Awesome. That green one, that one's real. Do
you see that crazy viral video of the girl that was doing a selfie video when that one flew over her head?
Yes. That's a beautiful shot. Beautiful shot. Even the girl is like, what?
Yeah. Went right over her head.
That one's in Portugal, I think.
You see,
that's the one.
Oh, this one is from you. You tweeted this one.
That one is from my mother's town in Vallarta, but that's from like last year or something like that. My cousin sent me that video. He recorded it.
Oh, that one. Go up one, up, right there. That girl. Look, this girl's filming a selfie video. Look at what she captured.
2 years ago.
Okay. That's freaking crazy. Wow. Yeah, we've got a real doomy kind of end times vibe going on lately. Last couple of years, it's getting worse.
Yes.
No, I don't know more people. I haven't noticed the phenomenon of people being more optimistic as time goes on, like about the future. It seems like everybody's sort of like thinking about next week and maybe the week after. I don't know how much farther out you guys plan. Are you guys looking at, by the way, real quick, have you guys been paying attention to this whole situation with the TSA shutting down America's airport system?
I have a friend of mine from Argentina who's flying back home from New York today, and she just sent me videos from JFK, and there's like thousands of people outside in line. Like,
yep.
It's taking 4, 5, 6 hours to get to your gate.
Yep.
But don't worry, ICE is there, so it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Don't worry.
They've got it all under control.
That's why I didn't go to Sarasota, because it felt like it was gonna get like that.
Yeah.
And that's why I decided against it. And I just got a text from Matt Bell yesterday. He was like, "You were right." I'm like, "I know."
Yeah, anyone who thinks that things are cool needs to like really stop pretending and pull your head out of your fucking ass. Like, this is not working. This is real bad.
Right. So like, I guess that's kind of the point.
Sorry,
right?
but like, you know,
to your point, Pavel, about like how things are looking a little weird. I mean, it's like we're at $110 a barrel. We're careening into a third world war. We found out Russia is giving drones to Iran. We are giving Iran, we raised the sanctions. We lifted the sanctions on Iranian oil so they can now sell their oil so that we could lower the cost of the oil that only costs more because we are attacking them. The whole economy is about to feel the shock of this huge increase in oil prices. It's just a weird time. Like, there's so much going on, and it feels like no one's trying to calm the situation down. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, man. I'm sympathetic to the Bledsoe story as time goes on. I was a little more combative about it early, but now that the news just keeps lining up in this way. And
to keep it clear, we know that he moved the goalpost, but the activities is just increasing, and Easter is this Sunday. And it's not just that, like all the scientists were missing, increased activity in the sky. Like, there's a lot of like different things that are just moving towards something. Yesterday there was an update on Claude that it has like potential to hack everybody in the world. This new
I have that story
that they're putting out. That is wild. It's like, and everything's just piling up.
Before we go into that as well, I just, on the Bledsoes, because it is a bit of an elephant in the room, but it's really interesting to talk about, and I think people maybe want to hear us talk about it a little bit. But I think and I've mentioned this in one of the chats that we've got, but I think there's a few different camps with the Bledsoes. You can sort of be open to I'm in the camp where you can be open to the possibility that they might be right, but also still completely disagree with the approach that they're currently taking. Not they. I'll be honest, it's Ryan, from what I can see, is his approach is very you simply have to believe us kind of thing. And I don't think at any point you may well be right, and I really do hope they are. But
not just believe us, but believe us, but don't believe anybody else. That's the weird part.
Thing. Yeah,
right.
You don't kind of get to do that. Like, at the moment, there's simply no evidence to suggest that what they're saying is going to happen is going to happen. Like, there's some interesting things going on in the world, but we've been in this place too many times to fall for it again. Mm-hmm. Like, I will remain open, and I sincerely hope that they are completely right. But at the same time, there's a different approach to be taken here, in my opinion. And then there is the camp that just say, you're all full of shit anyway. Like, I don't believe you, and you're an asshole. Like, I don't not believe you, but you know, some of the things you're saying makes you seem like you might be a bit of an asshole.
Yeah,
when I don't believe you are.
Well, I think the thing with Ryan this comes through in Chris's book, that at the time all this stuff was actually going down, Ryan was much younger. You know, these were young boys and watching their dad go through this experience, and it was a very difficult time for them as a family. And you know,
the kids went through it too, by the way. I mean, the kids were there for the abduction, and it isn't Ryan the one that saw the being behind the bush?
No, that's Chris Jr., wasn't it?
Okay.
He was the one that got really traumatized by the whole experience.
Okay. Yes, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut off.
And no, I just to just round this point out, it was their formative years, you know, as adults and as young men, and this is what was happening. So I think it made a huge impact on the way that they look at kind of the world and everything else. And I'm sure that enters into it in a way that for the average person like myself, I have a harder time with it because it sounds very, I don't know, it sounds like
it's whimsical.
It just sounds, you know, some of it just is hard for me to swallow, and that's hard for me to say because I do believe a lot of weird stuff. I do, but some aspects of it I have trouble with, and but I do think that the interest surrounding his case is almost more interesting than the case itself. Like, why are there so many other people focused on this family? And when you look at who those people are, it's like there's definitely smoke here. What the fire actually is, I can't say. I mean, is it some kind of weird MK Ultra thing they're doing to these people? Is it some kind of genuine NHI experience, or is it something else entirely that we don't truly understand? And then there's the issue of how they interpret it and then relay that back to us. My sense is that every other prediction everyone else has ever made about what's going to happen on a date has been wrong so far. So that record is undefeated. But
what made me
weird
lose
time
it
to be alive. So I don't know.
What made me lose it with Ryan was that clip where he is talking on his show about experiencers and he's dismissing experiencers. That's what made me lose it with him. Because it's like, you can say all you want that you have the truth and all that. That's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, we're gonna find out. But
what did he say specifically?
When you're diminishing experiencer accounts like that, given the trauma that they've been through, that's what pissed me off. And since then, I've been talking against him because it's very clear that he doesn't have a good grasp of what other people are also going through. That is very different from what his family went through. I would subscribe to the idea that what they've gone through probably is real, or there are some real elements to it, but there's also other stuff going on, not just that. And he just doesn't accept that. He just thinks like his family is like the family for this. Like, family. I have a friend that you guys know. He records orbs almost daily, and like not that far away, and it happens all the time. And it's like, dude, you have better orb videos than Chris Bledsoe, and you're like, people are not saying that you're one of these chosen people like that. You know, it's
the orbs are way more common. I think most people have seen them. I think probably 80-90% of people have seen one, and whether or not it registered to you is that's what it is. I think we've all seen them. There was a video.
5 minutes. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead, Dan. Go. I'm sorry.
I say Eric just spent 5 minutes talking about where he lives and the orbs that he sees. Eric also had a crazy experience in the middle of the woods years ago. So how is Eric any different than Chris Bledsoe at this point?
Exactly.
I mean, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not a whole,
special.
Right. Well, Bledsoe's whole thing is this prophecy. I mean, it all hinges on the prophecy. If that doesn't, and the only reason we all think this prophecy might have legs is because there are so many high-speed NASA people that, all of these CIA guys that are focused on this family. So people are looking at that going, well, if they're paying attention to him, maybe there is something to it. Otherwise, it would just sound like one more guy making a prediction. Because
that did happen. They are around them, like people from intel agencies and everything. That's real.
That's why I as much as I have weirdness with it, I don't want to dismiss it outright. I'm just kind of like, yeah, but I'm with you on
above all
that.
else, stay humble and admit that you're not all-knowing and that you know exactly. Like, I have no doubts in there. Sorry about my mic tonight, guys.
Deep state.
Yeah,
I can't even tell. It's fine.
I have no doubt that they are sincere. In my opinion, I think they are sincere. I think they have whatever they experienced was an experience they had, but you can't expect us, the rest of the world who hasn't experienced that, to have the same conviction that you have. That it's as simple as that. We don't know, Ryan, because we haven't seen it. So you can't order us to know, because we don't know. It's as simple as that. I don't have the ability to believe you outright, because I just don't have that evidence that you have. Like, simple as that.
You know what's really funny? That he keeps saying, why won't they say our name? And it's like he manifested it, but in the wrong context. Everybody's talking about them, but not as he wants us to talk about them, you know?
That was one of the cringiest things I've heard in a long time. Yeah. I'm not gonna. I have a tough time holding it back. But when I saw that, I was like, oh my god,
yeah, it is.
How do you be like, okay, how do you craft that tweet and be like, yep, let's send this one.
And he didn't take it down. He doubled down in the next one.
Which I actually have respect for. If you're gonna do it, like, at least like dig in, man.
Yeah,
you made your bed.
Having said that, there might be a second Sphinx. So there's just yet more and more stuff going on that seems to be like weirdly aligning with stuff. I mean, leave it to 2026 for there to be a second Sphinx. Like, what?
It's just a claim until we see something. There's so many of these claims nowadays, and I feel like I don't know if you guys feel this way, but I feel like we're getting flooded with UFO weirdness overload right now the last few weeks, and I wonder if it's just to kind of like exhaust everybody, because maybe there is some real stuff there that might be disclosed by the White House or something, but it feels like we're getting flooded with a lot of nonsense. I don't know if you guys feel that or not.
Yeah. And they just put out an app, by the way. All that cryptic shit that they were doing is just an app, the White House app. So that's it. That was the news. That's why we're not talking about it really right now. I mean,
that was it? That cryptic backwards message thing?
Yeah, that was it.
What is it, a dating app for elites to meet children?
They're saying that it's an app where you can get the info unfiltered without the the spin of the media, as they say.
The media spin. I mean, God.
Or the what about the unfiltered view that we all get on X? Like, I don't think their tweets are being filtered,
because Trump is so filtered. He really holds back a lot. That guy.
To your point, Dan, I think the weirdness. It might have something to do with this war and the fact that we're probably using some really stealthy shit to do some of the attacks and some of the things that they're able to do. I mean, there was that which one of you in the group chat this morning, somebody put this video in where the lady was basically talking about the tungsten rods from space.
Oh, the rod from God.
The rod from God.
Oh,
they shoot a rod of tungsten down into a target on the ground, and it explodes like a nuclear weapon, but with no fallout. So you kill everybody. It's unstoppable. There's no defense against it, and there's no lingering effects. You just move in and take. Then she was like, they
deploy those.
Well, she was like, they killed the Ayatollah on day one in the first strike. They killed this fucking guy. That she's like, that level of precision is like, that's a pretty big deal to be able to get in and do that.
Maybe rod there was more God?
To it. I don't know.
Yeah, you've not seen them before.
No,
they're terrifying. They're all they are, because obviously tungsten's an extremely heavy metal, so effectively, and it can withstand extreme heat as well. So it can basically be hypersonic and not melt, and as well, because it's very heavy, it can cause quite a stir when it hits the ground. So
the idea was the most British way to put that.
The idea is the initial idea was that they would put a bunch of these in satellites that would stay in orbit, and basically all they need to do is drop one from space, and if you can guide it, then it's a very cheap. It can create quite a stir.
Well, they've got so many different weird doomsday weapons that are deployed. Like the Russians have this thing called the Poseidon torpedo. I think I've told you about this.
That is so scary, dude.
A nuclear-powered torpedo that loiters indefinitely, automatically, run by AI, and it's designed not to explode and kill everybody with a nuclear explosion. It's designed to explode and create a radioactive tsunami that makes your coastline uninhabitable for 1,000 years and destroys all of that. So like that's what this weapon, and they've got a bunch of them. Supposedly Putin's got these things. They're roaming around right now. God, and it's one of those dead man switch weapons where it's like if they don't push the button on Lost on the island every 22 hours or something happens, like these things go off.
So it's always cruising around like a great white shark. It never stops. It's just always moving.
That is quite a stir.
And then we've got these space. I believe we've probably had the tungsten stuff at least experimentally since the 1970s or 80s. I mean, where do you think all that money went? All those guys, the Cold War military research budgets were like unlimited. These guys could just sit there and I mean, you think they're spending money now? I think
before we had nuclear powered subs. I think it was before we tried nuclear powered airplanes during the Cold War. We couldn't get them to work, but that would have been terrifying. Just the unlimited. I guess one of the big problems is you got to live in an airplane for like months on end, because you don't have to refuel. But yeah, that was a legitimate. Research project for a long time.
You could do it today, for sure. You could have an automatic, like a drone, a nuclear powered drone.
I think they probably have. Everyone says the TR-3B is, or at least was, nuclear powered at one point. What's the other one? The gigantic one that is it Telos? TR6.
Oh, the drone, the one that has automatic AI based kill chain decision making.
That's like a big loitering aircraft.
That's a British drone.
Using a TR6. I think it was called the Telos. Yeah, TR6 Telos.
Oh no, the Telos. Yeah, the
Telos.
Big
sorry,
one.
Yeah.
It's like 8 football fields wide. Oh yeah, we've got. Do you have that drawing?
Oh,
I don't know if I have
crazy
the
thing
document.
that you should. Something's insane.
Crazy thing. Yeah. Here it is, and its wings fold, doesn't it?
So apparently, this thing is so big. It's like 8 football fields wide, but the wings fold up, and then even when folded, there are only a few hangars in the world large enough to house this thing properly. So there are certain bases where it can take off and land from, specific for that aircraft. And apparently, it's designed to be a stopgap sort of satellite. Like imagine if an EMP took out the entire satellite network, you could send one of these up and it would act as a satellite, plus a bunch of other things. It's like a whole sensor suite that just hangs out. They're enormous. And supposedly a lot of people think this is what people saw when the Phoenix Lights sightings were happening. This is what they were actually looking at, was something like this.
Oh yeah, sorry, I need to zoom in. That's the B2 Spirit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Telos.
So it's like 4 of those side by side.
And the B2 is big. It's big.
There's no way if you saw that you wouldn't think that's a UFO. There's no way.
Right. And so, okay, so this is the thing to your story from earlier, Eric, what you were talking about, the stuff you see in the sky. There was this, you reminded me of, here, let me close this all down, of this story from 2000, I think this was in 2021. A group of Ukrainian astronomers published a paper.
I remember this.
Saying they were seeing these things above Kyiv. and they grouped them into two different groups. One is called cosmics, and the other group is called phantoms. Here we go. Phantoms appear as small, dark, nearly black blobs or irregular shapes against the bright sky background. One commonly reproduced example is a composite of 3 frames showing a dark phantom moving across a field of view, separated by fractions of a second. Cosmics are luminous, bright objects, brighter spots or streaks that stand out against the sky, sometimes described as variable in brightness, less distinctive in the stills. And then they fly in these sort of...
Can you zoom in on those?
Let's see here if I can blow that up a little bit.
And I do recall when shortly after this paper came out, Avi Loeb dismissed them as artillery shells. But
this is the article, yeah.
Yeah, and then the story just kind of died. But I think the scientists who produced this paper would know. You would just know they're not artillery shells.
Right. Well, it didn't, because they would explode somewhere. They would land. They would hit.
Yeah.
You can't. It's not going to fly forever. I mean, artillery only has a range of whatever it is, but it's not infinite.
Right.
So yeah, this is that article here where he's like, the Ukrainian UAP paper identified 2 kinds of objects it labeled phantoms and cosmics. Phantoms were dark objects. Cosmics were luminous. According to Loeb, an object that fits that description would cause an incredible disruption to the atmosphere, a huge fireball, Loeb said. The energy released by such an object would be the equivalent to the amount of energy consumed by everyone on Earth.
Well, based on our current understanding of how the world works. I mean,
this is an interesting take for him. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually tried to reach out to the authors of the paper to see if they thought of that, but they never responded.
Yeah, instead, Loeb believes the explanation for phantom UAVs in Ukraine is something much more common during war: artillery.
Is there any artillery or shells that have that kind of shape? That's a very bizarre shape for a shell.
Yeah.
This just doesn't make sense. Like his whole idea makes no sense. He's saying artillery, but artillery would land somewhere and explode. It's an arc. It travels in an arc and it lands. And then, so that's one thing. These things, his whole explanation for 3i Atlas, all of the anomalies was basically like it could be aliens. So he's willing to excuse all of those different criticisms or all of those different things for 3i Atlas, despite the criticisms from others. But then to shoot this down with such a weird critique, a weird alternative hypothesis.
Yeah, and Loeb didn't articulate that he examined all their data. I don't know if he did, but I don't remember him saying that. I'm just kind of under the impression he's like, yeah, it's probably artillery. I was like, well, how would you know?
Were you getting shelled at the fucking time you took your measurements? No? Okay, well, then it probably wasn't artillery.
Do they all come from the similar direction? Do they travel from the same direction or head towards the same, or is it all over the place?
It's the paper is linked here, and it's it's called Down Limits on Unidentified Aerial. Hang on a second. It's linked in the original. Here's this article on space.com, Cosmic and Phantom UFOs. It doesn't say it in detail on the article how their observations were recorded, but it's published to the preprint database archive. The report, which has not yet been peer-reviewed, describes recent steps the Ukrainian astronomers have taken to monitor fast-moving, low-visibility objects in the daytime sky over Kyiv and the surrounding villages. So my point in bringing this up to be in the first place was just to basically say that part of the reason I think, Dan, you're right, that we're hearing so much UAP weirdness right now in the media might be because they are deploying a lot of their really high-end weapons systems that are probably going to get seen. And it's nice to have some ambiguity and just keep it in people's heads that there's all kinds of weird stuff out there. It could be UFOs. That really works in favor of secrecy,
for sure.
in a way. Two specially calibrated cameras at 2 weather stations in Kyiv and Vinarivka. I'm not saying that right. Sorry, guys. A village about 75 miles to the south. Astronomers observed dozens of objects that cannot scientifically be identified as known natural phenomena. So this article, it came out, and then Avi wrote that response, and then it disappeared, and you don't hear about this anymore. But there was actual, there were a lot more photos of those, and they have been removed. You can't find them.
Yeah, and I just found a response from one of the authors to Loeb. This is a quote. He says, Avi Loeb is a theorist. We are experimenters. We observe, process, and determine the characteristics of objects. We are not in the business of interpretation. So they sounded quite confident, but apparently there was some criticism from academics that it wasn't a rigorous enough paper. So it's the waters are kind of muddied with Loeb's comments, and then they're defending themselves, but academics were like, well, it was a halfway decent paper. It's kind of hard to draw conclusions.
Well, I mean, it makes sense at that time, 2021. I mean, yeah, there could have been all kinds of classified weapons stuff, flying around, but it doesn't make, I mean, I feel like if it were that high speed and stealthy, if it were ours, a group of astronomers wouldn't see it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we would make like Lockheed shit would be invisible to these guys. Like they would know to.
We've had this stuff appearing during wartime since photographs, like Foo Fighters in World War. Was it II? Yeah. World War II? Yeah, they were all over that. Was it one? They were all over the place. So I don't think. I mean, they were balls of fire. There were orbs. They followed craft, so it's not exactly artillery, is it? I don't think it's appropriate to just say, "Oh yeah, I know what that is." At least say, "Yeah, I have no idea." Could be.
Well,
could be.
That's what's so weird about that. It's like Avi is the guy who's like, "It could be aliens." That's always his refrain. I mean, that's just what his whole shtick is. It could be aliens. Why would you shoot down this group of people? Why go after them? That's what it doesn't make sense.
And maybe you guys know, I was thinking not to capitalize on conflicts, but since UAPs are often seen in war zones, has anybody been monitoring the skies over Iran? Because if you're going to look for something, I would think you would see it there. I mean, this is a long-standing tradition.
Well, somebody shut the internet down, didn't they, over Iran? So
did they?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're still having trouble now. But day one, internet.
Where's the footage of this war? Has anyone seen any footage of the actual conflict?
Nothing.
We're about to say it's all AI.
Good question.
Right. This is some wag the dog shit, because I remember Gulf War I was on the fucking TV 24 hours a day. It was the first TV war. They were like constantly. Every fucking smart bomb, we had video from that smart bomb going into a chimney or every time they blew up a fucking tank, or they would send Apache gunships in to just fucking eradicate a bunch of Iraqi guys, Republican Guard dudes. It was constant. It was like, this is the greatest fucking war ever. No Americans got killed. We just rolled through their country. We tested all our new shit. It was unbelievable. And you could see all over the news, like that was the attitude. They had that song, "Proud to be an American."
Yeah.
Everybody was like,
fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. And, and then we found out later, like how backwards that all was. But like later, but at the time, it was like constant. This war, there's nothing.
Good point.
It's just really weird. And they're like, yep. Pete Hegseth goes on TV and he's like, yeah, it takes a lot of money to kill bad guys. We're killing them all.
Fire and destruction.
We negotiate with bombs. That's what he said.
And it's like, okay, well,
where is it?
Is there any footage of this? Like, I haven't seen any, like.
Show me my tax dollars, please.
He just asked for $200 billion more dollars. That's 10 times what we got done with. In the beginning of the show, we talked about NASA's 7-year budget for setting up a moon base, and it's $20 billion. He just asked for $200 billion in what are we in the first month of this thing? Above and beyond what they already have. This is unbelievable. And there's no footage. There's no we have no evidence of what's happening. We have no idea. It's just what they tell us, and we can't even trust that.
Super cool.
Neat.
Fuck, man. So UFOs.
I don't know how UFOs factors into it. Yeah,
Humor Friday, dude. It's not UFOs. It's Humor Friday.
There may well have been a few orb sightings over Iran, but it's videos these days. It'd be useless sharing anything at the end of the day because it would just look like every other orb video that we've ever shown on this program.
Yeah.
Yep.
Someone
was
just
that
in chat said back
is
to
video
Ashton Forbes.
Back to Ashton Forbes. Ashton Forbes' post the other day about I think I figured it all out. Actually,
don't do it, Clint. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't step on that dragon's tail.
I don't want to step on that.
He just doesn't shut up.
You already said the name once.
You already said the name once.
Don't do it 2 times. Don't do it 2 more times.
I like the idea that Money Penny knows what I'm talking about. The plasma being a organism that utilizes some kind of internal fusion system. Some self-organizing plasma creature. I'm into that idea. Why not?
Are you really into that idea?
Yeah. What is the STS? What is the NASA mission where they had the tether and
the little worms,
and you can see all of these little organisms. Well, they look little, but they're probably a mile across in scale with what everything else is in the video, but it doesn't look like an actual space video. It looks like you're looking at a petri dish with some pond water in it.
Yep.
And you're like, what are all these little things swimming around? I think that might be just life that's in that part of space, these organisms. And maybe what we're seeing is orbs. A lot of the stuff, it might actually just be another form of intelligent plasma. Why not?
I'm open to that. Why not? Why not? Sure.
Same.
Yeah, why not?
No.
Wow, it got boring, guys. UFOs finally got boring.
No.
We ran out of things to talk
plasma beings. No plasma beings.
No
Please.
plasma beings.
How about let's talk about in the fact in the last week and a half that Burleson and Burchett have both said that people are being killed over UFOs, and that there are specific people who would have no problem killing sitting congressmen if they say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And Burchett said, Burleson wrote, I am not suicidal, he wrote.
So did Burchett, I think, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yesterday? No, he did? Oh,
I think so.
I think
so. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure.
So I don't know anything behind the scenes here, but I would hear that and think, okay, well, clearly someone they're talking to something's just happened to someone that they're talking to. If they're both inclined, and maybe they were of. I literally don't know. Maybe someone here does know and can't say I don't know.
James Fox also spoke about this person who was supposed to come forward to whistleblow, who knew David Grush. We had heard about this person by Jake Barber as well, because Jake also spoke about this guy on the Jesse Michaels interview. And James Fox gave a little more detail into it. 34 years old, something like that, and with kids. And he allegedly took his own life. There was like a suicide note and everything. And and that's something that really put things into perspective for a lot of people there. And something that I also want to mention that I don't think it's being talked about really. In the interview with Matthew Brown, if you guys remember the 3 things that Jeremy Corbell was told by this ODNI person that like shared information from a skiff, which is not supposed to happen. They said that Brown was like committing treason, and they've also done that to Dylan Borland. And I don't know if you guys like realize that this is like the death penalty for treason. That's what
Treason
happens.
is punishable by death. Yep.
Yeah. So essentially, what they're like doing is saying that they deserve the death penalty because allegedly they committed treason. That's pretty. I mean, imagine how those guys feel.
But aren't you supposed to be found guilty of treason after a trial by a military court?
Yep.
In old America, maybe.
Yeah.
That's traditional America. We've got FISA courts now that deal with that stuff.
I guess I've just been jaded about the whole thing for so long that I'm kind of like, I'm not even surprised when the shit doesn't work anymore. And it's just like, oh yeah, they just disappear people.
But also, if they, let's say for a second they were tried for treason or whatever, that also right there is an admission that everything they've said is accurate. Is it not?
Yep.
So it's weird
like what
catch.
they tried to do.
Yeah.
It's like what they tried to do with Gary McKinnon as well.
Sure.
Similar thing.
It's like you're at a stalemate of like, okay, I want to punish you for talking about classified information and things we're trying to hide. But if we punish you, we're telling the world that that's accurate. So what do we do now? It just people just staring at each other like, I
think they'd rather have some like 1,000 people watching a live stream and not getting any answers than the alternative, which is risking somebody like that dropping at least a few breadcrumbs that people can follow. Whereas we're just shooting the shit, and we can do that for years and it won't make any difference whatsoever. So risk to reward for them is just get it done. But I just find it so incredibly sad that what the hell is the motivation behind secrecy that warrants that kind of action? Because it's very rare for people to commit evil acts knowing that they're being evil. A lot of the time, you can get people to do some incredibly despicable and disgusting things, and whilst they're doing it, they can believe they're doing the right thing. And I just wonder what is the reasoning going on in their mind that makes it apparently so black and white and so he's got to go kind of thing.
We'll flip it and just go, what would it have to be? How bad would it have to be to make it that kind of a policy? Where it's like you absolutely have to assassinate maybe a sitting president, if it comes down to it, like it might actually come to it.
Is it the collapse of world economy? And is that enough? I don't think that's justifiable for me.
I think it's bigger than that. We're going to see the collapse of the world economy this year. Regardless.
That's
kind of. Well, I would wait until the market closes today and see what happens.
Oh, there's the weekend problem at the moment, isn't there?
Sure.
Everything always happens over the weekend.
Yep.
Yeah. They'll. You think they're going to send in the 82nd Airborne? Eric, what do you think? Are we going to see?
That is my old unit. Yes. So, just briefly, the way it works, you have a battalion on constant standby where everyone can be called in, and the jets are loaded with all the combat gear, all the paratroopers, everybody within 18 hours. It's a very unique system that they have, and it's absolutely lethal. And this quick reaction force, or quick, I guess more accurately, a quick deployment force, was used with Haiti a while ago. And what happened was there was some turmoil in Haiti, and the 82nd Airborne was on their way. And then the guy who was in charge with Haiti was like, wow, I better cut this shit out because they're on their way. Right.
Oh, wow.
So it can also be used as just a display of force. What I read they're stationed in Fort Bragg down in Fayetteville, North Carolina. So I read the local paper, the Fayetteville paper. Apparently it's somewhere between 1,000 and 3,000. And the impression I got from the article was these are more support roles and not direct combat roles. I didn't get the impression it was like an infantry unit. I thought it was more of a support purpose, but not much has been said about it. So the article actually didn't give really good definitive information. But yeah, that's how the unit works.
Does that mean they just kind of hang out in the area in case they're needed?
Support role? Okay. Yeah, they could stage at a U.S. friendly base.
Okay.
So if
somebody should ask them what they were given for lunch today, because somebody should ask what the military was given for lunch today, because weren't they given like steak and lobster or something the day before the attacks?
Oh, that's right.
So yeah,
they spent millions or something on steaks and stuff.
Yeah,
is that right?
Probably just check again today.
It's probably
either going to be
something good than
the airborne 82nd Airborne, or it'll be Rangers, or it'll be Marines. Right? They'll send in an expeditionary force
special
that's already in
forces,
the area.
Rangers and Marines can get there pretty quick. Any special operations unit can get there really quick.
They're probably there now.
82nd has a lot of people. It's an entire division. I mean,
like you could take a whole.
Rangers only have 3 battalions.
Right. Yeah, that's going to be the question. If they put boots on the ground, and as soon as Americans really start getting killed in numbers, if that happens, like, God, I hope it doesn't. But man, I don't know anybody who's like in for this war. They don't know how long they can support, keep this thing going before people are just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I have most of my family is pretty right-leaning conservative folks, and I haven't heard any of them being like, I'm happy we're there. I haven't, not a single person. I've heard a single person that I know in my life be like, cool, I'm glad we're in Iran. Any of you?
No.
Yeah. Nope. It's bizarre, man.
But I think also
Go
ahead.
My family are mostly liberal from Mexico. From my mom's side, I have an uncle who's a politician who's completely left leaning. So that's how I grew up. It's like, but I do understand, as I grew up, I understand that there's like differing opinions on everything. And I do like the idea that even though we have differing opinions and we think differently about politics and all this stuff, I do still think that there's people who are conservative who understand that there should be respect towards others people's opinions. And I know that there's a lot of polarization right now in the US when it comes to that, but I still think, and I still wholeheartedly believe that there's a lot of people who are right-leaning and conservative Republicans who do respect people from the other side. And I do have a lot of friends who are like that. So yeah, and everything's just so polarized right now, and that's what makes it difficult, especially in your country.
I think that's by design, though. I think it's polarized because people left with enough free time on their hands. This is why they don't like the idea of a middle class. A middle class represents a group of people that has enough extra disposable income to have some free time. And what do people do when they have free time? They volunteer for shit. They get involved. They get to know their neighbors. They run for local office. They might have opinions, and they might try to get those opinions turned into legislation that might benefit them. And God damn it, we cannot have that. So if you keep everybody fighting and you make every example of the other side look like the dumbest people from that side, and that's all we ever see of each other is just like the goofiest side of each, aspect of this argument. Then we get a paralyzed system, and they can just run around and do whatever they want, and that's what we have. That's what you're seeing. My hope is that
6-hour queues outside of airports,
dude. Yeah. I mean, come on, like I think that's it. Like that's the whole problem. Americans are looking at the situation right now. I think across the country, everybody is going, look, you can't afford to pay the fucking TSA people. And by the way, a lot of us are old enough to remember when that whole fucking thing started back after 9/11. And then Michael Chertoff, the Homeland Security Department was established, the Patriot Act, all of this shit. And they were like, oh, guess what? Now you're going to have to go into a scanner at the airport and get scanned every single time. And they're going to look at your fucking, scan your eye, and they're going to want all your biometric data. And It just kept going. And now they're telling us we can't pay those people because we've got to go fight this other war against this other group of people that wasn't a problem until 2 weeks ago, and now they're the world's biggest issue. My hope is that when the next election cycle rolls around, people realize that we've got to move past this. We have to get past this phase. Like, we got to get out of this and find some way to make politics boring again and just make it effective.
Let's get past
I don't need
this
to hear
phase
from
of
these people.
Let's get past this phase of humanity where we're just warring all the time. Like, this doesn't benefit anybody really. Like, we need to elevate. It's time to move forward a bit. Well,
I think that's the thing, right? I mean, that was the thing that got Trump elected, was no more wars. None of this forever war. That's not the only thing that got him elected. And I'm trying to be generous here because I'm not a Trump guy, but I'm trying to work with you guys. It was like, we're not going to do this. Okay. I think everybody is on board with no more wars. We're all kind of done with that. Nobody likes war. Nobody wants to spend the money on it. It's too expensive. There's just no reason for it. No need for it. We need to focus on things here at home. And then, he just kind of pivots on a dime and suddenly we're there.
He's not in charge.
There for?
That's why.
It's John Mearsheimer that says that the president isn't really in charge of foreign policy. It's not controlled by the president at all, which is why it doesn't really matter what president you have. The outcome is always the same when it comes to foreign policy, because the people that make the decisions aren't elected. They're usually, they pay for their positions and they get to stay there for decades.
Who was the general that was in an interview? You can find this video, and he's like, right after 9/11, they came to me and they were like, this is the next 5 countries we're going to invade. And they had the list, and Iran was the last one on the list. And he was like, we're going to do this one, this one, this
it's the
one.
Rothschild bank thing, isn't it?
The plan extended for like a couple more decades, but yeah, they said it was going to happen over the next 5 or 7 years. It's like,
that's so bizarre.
Wesley Clark. And it was on Democracy Now! Here, 7 countries in 5 years. Watch this, guys. This is fucking unbelievable. If you guys haven't been following, this stuff for years, like I have, I know it's nerdy, but watch this.
I knew why, because I'd been through the Pentagon right after 9/11. About 10 days after 9/11, I went through the Pentagon and I saw Secretary Rumsfeld and Deputy Secretary Wolfowitz. I went downstairs just to say hello to some of the people on the Joint Staff who used to work for me. And one of the generals called me and he said, "Sir, you got to come in. You got to come in and talk to me a second." I said, "Well, you're too busy." He said, "No." He says, "We've made the decision. We're going to war with Iraq." This was on or about the 20th of September. I said, "We're going to war with Iraq. Why?" He said, "I don't know." He said, "I guess they don't know what else to do."
Oh my God.
So I said, "Well, did they find some information connecting Saddam to Al-Qaeda?" He said, No. He says, "There's nothing new that way. They just made the decision to go to war with Iraq." He said, "I guess it's like we don't know what to do about terrorists, but we've got a good military and we can take down governments." And he said, "I guess if the only tool you have is a hammer, every problem has to look like a nail." So I came back to see him a few weeks later, and by that time we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, "Are we still going to war with Iraq?" And he said, "Oh, it's worse than that." He said, he reached over on his desk, he picked up a piece of paper, and he said, I just got this down from upstairs," meaning the Secretary of Defense's office today, and he said, "This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran." I said, "Is it classified?" He said, "Yes, sir." I said, "Well, don't show it to me."
What the hell?
Yeah,
and this
that
is
extended for
mindset.
20 years. That extended for 20 years, not 5.
This is the same mindset that we're up against in ufology, though, isn't it? It's
How
the
so?
same. It's because it's the complete obfuscation of any like logical thought, logical reasoning. It's like, why have we got to keep it secret? Well, because we have to. because we have to. It's like, that's not a reason. Like, why do we have to invade Iraq? Well, I don't know. We got to keep something. We got to invade somebody. We got to keep something secret.
This is the point, right? Like, they will look at how that decision was made. He's the Secretary of Defense came from his office. That was Rumsfeld, right, at the time. So Donald Rumsfeld, someone drafts a memo, and it's like, we're going to go to war with these 7 countries in 5 years or whatever. And there's no debate. Oh, how much will this cost? Who will pay for it? How is it going to be funded? There's no, oh, it's too expensive, we can't afford it. It's just, this is what we're doing. The decision has been made. Let's go. And we'll figure it out later. But for every single other thing in American life where it's like healthcare, college tuition, paid family leave, if you're, you want people to have kids, paid fucking family leave. Like, no one has money. And Elon's out there like, no one's having children. The population's going to collapse. I've got to have all the children. What? The priorities are so fucked, and people are just, they're past it. They're over it. And I think people are they're hip to it now, especially after the Epstein shit. And now they're looking at the whole government and they're going, who the fuck are you people? What are you doing? What are you doing? And the UFO question is just another one of those things. It's like, what is happening here? They've got unlimited money for all this other bullshit, but when it comes time to help the average voter, the citizen, the taxpayer, the regular person on the street, there's nothing for those people. And they don't even try to make an excuse. They just make you feel stupid. They're like, how are you going to pay for that? You want free money?
Yeah, you're totally right.
So tired, man. I'm so tired of it.
Everyone's tired of it. But the nice thing is, and there's a double-edged sword to this, it does feel like more and more people are waking up to this idea that, holy shit, the world really is ran. The conspiracy theorists were right at least about one thing, which is the world is ran by a very small group of unelected, horrific people. But how much further do we need to actually go? How bad do things actually need to get before a revolution actually happens? Mm-hmm. Because realistically, we would need our own armies to put down their guns and say, no, not shooting my own people. Yeah.
Pavel, the man in the back. Pavel, go ahead.
That will happen when shit starts affecting us personally, our circles. We'll have a new Nepal in either the US or in Mexico, because Mexico is also a shit show. When it starts affecting people directly, like no degrees of separation at all.
Isn't that happening now? Like, aren't we? Like,
not really, not yet. To a lot of us, not yet, but it can very
financially.
Quickly.
It's absolutely changed my life in the last few years. But financially, we could be so much. Financially, a lot of us in the UK could be so much worse off still.
I'm not just talking about finance though, because let me give you a good example that happened just yesterday. Orange County went completely dark for several hours, and parts of San Diego as well. If that happens like on a wider scale, shit's gonna get really dicey for politicians really fast.
How did that happen? What happened?
They don't know yet. There was just like a massive blackout that started at like
probably
7 p.m. and it went on for the entire night, and they haven't said anything publicly in terms of the origin of that, the source.
The San Diego, it has a massive Navy presence. Was the Navy affected by the outage?
I didn't check that. It was just like the Orange County area and a north of San Diego area.
Hackers hack the planet.
But imagine just with resources.
We're in a fifth generation war now. We're in a constant propaganda war that is being fought from 12 different sides. If you're lucky, it's at least 12, probably more. Corporations, countries, lots of different political actors. Everybody's playing with your brain. Everyone's trying to get you to believe one thing over another and convince you of whatever worldview. There are billion-dollar algorithms pointed at your cerebral cortex every single day. And there are so many people that are just caught up in it. I don't know that we can ever break free unless the internet does shut down. Maybe it is going to take turning the internet off.
Dude, just think about how we were behaving with lack of toilet paper. In my city, people were fucking almost killing each other because they couldn't wipe their ass with toilet paper.
Yeah.
Imagine if we lose the internet.
I'm a bidet guy.
I'm a bidet guy too, man. It's the best.
I go
You guys
outside.
need bidets.
Think about it. If you got poo on any part of your body, any other part, you wouldn't just wipe it off with a little paper. You would get some soap and you would like.
Yeah, man. These savages using toilet paper, disgusting.
Such a George Carlin take. Wipe your ass with a bidet. This is the internet in Iran since the start of the war. I've always wondered, and I'm not going to make an accusation directly here.
That little.
I would always assume that
makeshift.
it wouldn't necessarily be Iran that did this to their own people. I would always like if you want to really stop a country from functioning, you shut down its internet. Like, why would Iran do that to themselves?
To stop
I don't know.
Propaganda, a bunch of propaganda from coming through and encouraging a popular uprising against the government, because you can probably say with certainty that Israeli special forces and American special forces, probably British special forces, have been there for the last 12 months at least, and maybe.
Well, there was
longer.
the whole sort of mini revolution that was allegedly taking place, wasn't there?
Well, they're stirring up the pot and preparing these groups who are disaffected with the government to challenge them. And so my thinking would be like they would shut down their own internet to stop all that communication internally as much as they could, to basically, hamstring American efforts to propagandize against their people. I don't know, just spitballing here. I'm no.
Well, yeah,
I didn't go to war
Iran
college.
has their country-run intranet, and they're the ones who shut it off.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They don't want their citizens to know.
I feel
they
like
want
there's
to keep their
benefits.
citizens isolated.
I feel like
Again,
there's
remember,
benefits for both sides to really control their internet.
Remember the second Iraq war, the Iraq II, the return after 9/11. We go back into Iraq, as Wesley Clark pointed out. And then as that war was starting to wind down, well, not wind down, but as we were getting close to Baghdad, remember, what was his name? Baghdad Bob?
Mm-hmm.
Remember their propaganda guy? And he'd come out on TV and he'd be standing, their propaganda minister would be standing out in the center of the town. And he'd be like, the Americans, there's no Americans here. You could hear the tanks. They're like 1 mile away. They're like blowing up shit. There's planes flying overhead. There's like, oh, everything's fine. I think, they probably aren't. They don't want people making videos and sharing them on the internet about what the fuck is happening in Iran. There's intelligence that could be leaked out that way. There's all kinds of stuff.
I think there's definitely benefits for the US as well in that, because you do end up with a country that doesn't function as well, can't defend itself quite as well, and if you don't want people in your own country to see who you're victimizing, then that's a good way as well. We talking about not seeing any footage and things. It's probably a good thing we're not, because we're already pretty angry at the fact that this is happening, and we haven't even really seen the scale of destruction that is definitely taking place, and it's probably way worse than we think it is.
Or it's way not as bad as they're saying it is, and that's the other thing that we don't know, right? So if you listen to
the point, we don't.
If you're listening to Hegseth and Trump and everybody else at the White House, if you're listening to this White House, they're saying we are obliterating these people, but they said that a few months ago too. We obliterated their New York nuclear facility, and their capabilities have been set back 20 years or whatever. All their plutonium is buried under a fucking mountain. We dropped, I think he said we dropped 11 fucking bunker buster bombs in a row on the same thing. This is what but there's no footage of any of this. There's no, we had footage of every bomb that exploded in Iraq. I don't understand how we don't have any footage of, so it's like a propaganda war. That's what I'm saying is we don't know. We're in this weird information space where it's like they say something and then they put out a video that no one can really verify, and then they ask for $200 billion, and I don't know. It just seems very shady and weird.
And we still don't have health care.
Hey, you guys want to talk about this Area 51 time traveler?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I watched
Absolutely.
this video, and it blew my mind.
Dan, is this the guy you brought up last week?
I think so.
Yes,
I believe so.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
It
the
is.
cops showed
Okay,
up?
cool.
Well, he came back the next day. I'm joking. I don't know.
So I've been subscribing to, I've subscribed to like 2 or 3 different body cam pages on YouTube. I love this shit. And this one popped up in my feed last week, and it was just like, guy makes it further into Area 50, or police body cam footage goes further into Area 1 than anyone's ever been. And yeah, Clinton's going to show the clip, but it's pretty fascinating. This guy's pretty calm, cool, and collected for a guy that is supposed to be seemingly crazy. You know what I mean?
This guy, yeah, I looked for it after you told me about it, and I watched it. I had the exact same reaction. I was like, this guy is way too chill. This is the guy who's like,
he's not crazy.
He believes he's telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
A time dilation facility, and we are experiencing this now. I know it sounds weird, strange, but it's true.
They don't share your same thoughts.
I didn't even think about that.
Well, you better think about it right now because you're this close to being handcuffs back on, bud. The IDs, they're saying that they're all fake.
What if I did get clearance?
That's probably not going to happen, though.
There's more to it.
A man makes it past the gate at one of the U.S. government's most highly protected properties, Area 51. While investigating the man's bizarre claims, the responding deputy will be invited behind closed doors into an area the public never gets to see.
Can I run up there and make a phone call?
The following report is based on official police records, and the footage has never been seen before until now. In the middle of the night on January 21st, 2026, the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office gets a report of a trespasser at the Nevada Test and Training Range, a vast swath of land that includes a highly restricted facility known to the public as Area 51.
Thank you.
The deputy is waved through the gate and onto some of the U.S. military's most heavily guarded property. Defended by a private security force known popularly as the Camo Dudes, Area 51's secrecy has led to conspiracy theories about what exactly is happening beyond these gates. And the man currently being detained by security believes he's figured it out.
What's going on?
I've drove up here. I know it sounds weird, strange, but it's true. This is part of a time dilation facility.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And we are experiencing this now. And you may not remember. I hope you remember it now. It's tied to Revelations. It's tied.
Okay.
I mean, with heaven, you believe in. I believe in heaven.
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah, I do too, but here's the deal.
Yeah.
There's a gate that has a no trespassing sign outside that
Yes, I passed.
gate. You passed it, so you've seen the sign, and obviously
Yes,
you've seen the
of
gate.
course. I passed it.
Okay. Did you come out here earlier too and try to open the gate?
I did.
You did.
I love this
Okay.
guy.
Yes. No hostility intended.
No.
Oh, this
by
guy's
doing
going to
what you've done,
contact.
that is hostility.
Dude, I thought
This
the
is
same thing. I hope
military.
he's there.
Okay.
Okay.
Or this is no joke.
He's like, oh,
So you're out
Can I
here
just poke around,
because
please?
of some religious belief. Is that what I'm getting at?
There's more to it.
Yeah, dude. I love him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something.
This is like the beginning of a movie.
Where is it that he gets asked, like, if I let you go, I don't take you to jail tonight. Are you
Towards
ever
the
going to come
end.
back here?
It's
And he's
coming up.
literally like, okay, cool.
Here we go.
He's like, I need you to promise.
Not travel. Dilate.
I can't do that.
This whole situation is so weird. Like, why did these guys call the cops? Like the local police? You guys are like the federal fucking security force for Area 51. Like,
They have a
what do you
license
need
to
the
kill.
local sheriff for? Just shoot this fucking guy. Like, not saying shoot him, but you know what I mean? Like, why did you call the local sheriff? So now the cops there asking all these questions, and this guy is cool as can be. He's like Iceman.
It's experiencing this time
Okay.
multiple times.
Okay.
The deputy
He's
doesn't
also-
appear to have an
pause for one
immediate
sec.
interest in.
He's also very self-aware, where like as he's explaining, he's like, you can tell he's like, I know this sounds nuts, but this is what's going on. He's not like
Yes.
like a guy on the street, screeching insanities. He's like, I know this is odd, but just bear with me. This is a goddamn time dilation facility.
Huntsville Hospital. Huntsville Hospital. Colonel Dan Brown. Huntsville, Alabama. The Rocket City. Where all of the
Redstone.
anti-gravity shit goes on in Huntsville.
Dan Brown. It's the green one. Redstone Arsenal. It's Army
NASA.
Material Command. And then NASA, Marshall Space Flight Facility. All part of a space program that deals with this, I know.
Well, unfortunately, you don't have permission to be out here. They wouldn't know.
He's got
The
Tim
deputy
Taylor
has
vibes.
dispatched check his.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Like when Tim Taylor allegedly goes up to is able to get into the Vatican secret archives without proper credentials because that's just who he is. Like, I think this guy's in that same ballpark where he's like, yeah, I'll just walk straight in. This is my job.
This guy came here for his birthday. Like his birthday was the day before. And he
Yeah, I think
explains,
it's the
like,
day after. Yeah,
I just
So
wanted
they
to go to this
said-
facility.
They said they checked his criminal background. He had none. And they said they checked his IDs, but the camo dudes just thought they looked suspicious. He didn't say that they were fake IDs. They didn't know. They're just like, we don't know. This seems weird. And then the cop is like, well, if you were supposed to be here, these guys would know and they wouldn't have stopped you. So
Honest.
Being honest.
Did you guys see any of his?
We saw the military badges, but
Do they?
me and my partner we saw them, they looked like came out of a cereal box.
They
I mean,
they
it
don't.
could be real,
That's
but
Army Material Command.
Yeah.
okay. But also, I thought maybe they could be like temporary type ones as well.
Yeah.
Those look a little bit more kind of vague, like those. So
Of course, even if Nathan has a genuine contractor ID issued from the Army, it wouldn't give him clearance to sneak onto an Air Force base in the dead of night. But clarifying this won't be as simple as it sounds.
What point of? Why did you think you could come out here again?
For this time, right
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
we're experiencing a reoccurrence of time, and I need
So time travel or
hoping
something.
not travel, time dilation, part of a space program tied to this facility and the Redstone facility, of which I have the badge to, and this is part of that time dilation
Okay.
facility.
What if I told you that you're wrong?
Fuck you,
Are
sir.
you going to argue with me, or like you're 100% wrong? You're wrong.
I'm not going to argue with you.
he's literally quantum leap.
Why did you
this
leave the
guy.
first time? Because you're probably thinking maybe you probably
I
shouldn't do that.
gave up, and I started giving it a shot. I was hoping I wouldn't end up in handcuffs.
Well, you're probably going to end up in jail.
Because of Nathan's theories about time, even explaining that he's not allowed back at Area 51 in the future is a challenge.
If you were to leave and escort you out, you would not come back. Is that what you're telling me? So you had that opportunity to not get in
I'll
trouble.
come back. It'll be the same date. It's with a dilation, but not in a later date. No, I will not come back. That's what I'm thinking. Is that? I'm not going to.
No, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Okay.
So no, it does not make
I'm not
any
gonna
sense
come
because
back at a later date,
I'm
no.
not going to ask. I'm not doing any of that.
No, sir.
All I'm saying is you can't be here.
Yeah. Okay.
So
All right.
hang tight.
In his own way, Nathan appears to understand that he can't return to the base. And when his criminal history comes back clean, the deputy isn't sure there's enough to justify an arrest.
He has no criminal history at all. He's got some like contractors ID tags with the government. No drugs. He's been 100% cooperative. He let me search his vehicle. The reason that he said he's out here, and this is where it's kind of he's not like tweaked out on drugs, or he doesn't appear to be. It's just he has this idea that it's something to do with time. He didn't say time travel, but something to do with time, and he's works for NASA. You know, he
For
did
those that are
still.
saying that
As the
this
deputy
is
gives-
fake, this channel's like the body cam channel on
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah.
Like he sources all of his material from police departments. This is a legit video. I mean, it's funny, but it's not exactly like showing aliens or anything. It's not that far fetched. At the very least, this guy's got some issues.
Or does he?
It's probably the case. But
dude, if you met a real time traveler, this is probably how it might go down. Like what else would you expect?
I mean,
Like, I love
time travel is about as far fetched as I can think, bro.
Well, I'm just saying, like, yes, is the likelihood that he's crazy? Sure. But if he were to be time traveling like one day in either direction, and he was trying to explain that, it would sound a lot like this. So, I mean, I'm just giving him
That's
the
what we
benefit of
choose
the
to
doubt.
do. If I choose to do that, is that right?
Yes.
So, are you on vacation, or
It's a birthday trip.
birthday trip?
Yeah. It's tomorrow.
Your birthday's tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you really want to spend your birthday in jail?
Not particularly.
But when faced with the prospect of a lifetime ban,
I love him.
I love Southern guys. They're so laid back.
Not particularly.
Not particularly.
Nathan holds out hope that things could change.
If I were to cite you and give you the opportunity not to be in jail on your birthday, would you not come back?
This is the best.
Ever?
Ever?
Well, I'm not telling you right now, you are not allowed back here, ever.
What if I did get clearance?
Yeah. You can what if all you want, but that clearance you would. I'm not. That's what I'm saying, Nathan. I'm not going there. I'm saying
not
right
trying
now.
to be a smart ass. I promise.
Well, with this action.
Yeah, but I get the severity.
Yeah.
If I was invited back.
Well, you guys. Yeah. That's probably not going to happen though.
Okay. All right.
But
well, I mean, if it's.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if it happens, it happens. But I'm telling you right now, that probability is.
He's kind of like. It's kind of like, I work here, dude. Like, I have to come back. I can't. What do you mean I can't ever come back? Like
I'm supposed to be here.
The dudes in the background are just cracking up, dude.
But no, they're not though. I don't think they are. My first time
they are.
watching, I was watching those guys, and they don't seem to smirk or do it. Like when he's talking about time dilation, they don't seem to even be phased by it. Although they are masked up.
So he's crossed before.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
The Redstone ID looks familiar.
Okay.
Whoa.
A report comes over the radio that Nathan tried to get into Nellis Air Force Base in Las Vegas last month.
Oh, Nellis, baby.
Hey, man. If I remember, because I remember that badge, and I think I remember the email. He went up to our guard because we have an open gate there
And
and attempted to get in with that redstone, and we denied access at that point.
All right, Nathan, you need to be 100% honest with me right now. Okay?
Okay.
In December, were you in the state of Nevada of last year?
Yeah.
Okay. You were in Las Vegas?
Yes.
Did you try to go on to a base using one of your cards?
I pulled up to the gate and left.
Okay. So you did try to go on there.
They didn't. They just asked me to leave. That was it.
Okay. Well, that's what I was referring
I
to.
didn't even think about that.
Well, you better think about it right now because you're this close to being handcuffed back on, bud, and headed back.
The deputy remains concerned that Nathan's curiosity about time dilation will override his vow to stay off the base.
You're showing tendencies that you're going to come back and you're trying to get on the base. I'm telling you, your idea that you have in your head, it's not going to work here. It's not going to work on any base. They don't share your same thought.
Okay, just take me.
Take me.
Take you. So what you're saying, you're going to try to continually do this?
Yep, bud.
Not necessarily, no.
With that answer leaving room for doubt, the deputy tries again.
If I give you a citation tonight, which is like the biggest birthday present you've ever received in your whole life,
Okay.
what's your plan?
I believe I'll get a hotel room.
Okay, where at?
I guess I don't want to get one of the expensive ones without somewhere
Okay,
that way.
well, you have cash in there. And I recommend you get to a place away from here.
But even that may not be enough after the deputy speaks to an Air Force special agent who believes Nathan may be carrying counterfeit ID cards. And it is this final thread of the investigation that will lead the deputy into a never-before-filmed interior space.
All right, Nathan. Unfortunately, the IDs, they're saying that they're all fake. So you have worked for the government.
Redstone Arsenal?
Huh?
Redstone Arsenal? NASA, the one was a NASA badge, the other was an Army badge.
With the ID tags adding a new wrinkle in the mix, the deputy weighs his options.
We can arrest now for this charge of the IDs.
Yeah, so what was best to us, right? So that's still up to your discretion.
Okay.
I got her number of contact for him. She wants to meet him at the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office.
The deputy tries to call the special agent again, but his phone isn't connecting, leading to a pivotal moment where he and his body cam will be invited further into Area 51 than any outsider has ever gone.
Hey, can I run up there and make a phone call?
Yeah, we can do. Yeah, we have a phone up there.
Okay. I'll use this number. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Already nearly a mile inside the gates, the deputy drives even further down the road to a nondescript building.
99, and then whatever number you need.
Right, 79, 377.
What game is he playing on the computer?
I couldn't tell. I was trying to figure out what was on there. What is
Yeah,
it?
999.
You know?
You know that one.
The phone isn't connecting, leading to a pivotal moment.
This number. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Already nearly a mile inside the gates, the deputy drives even further down the road to a nondescript building.
99, and then
Is that a game?
It's watching Star Wars. Screensaver.
whatever number you need.
Screen.
79, 377.
I paused it and tried to see what was on the screens. Nothing.
Did you say 99?
Yeah, 999 gets you off that one.
As the deputy tries to connect his call, gunshots can be heard in the background. The soundtrack
Nathan
to
was
an action
dead.
movie playing on TV. The deputy tells the special agent that he can make an arrest if she wants, but if he simply issues a citation, he can't guarantee Nathan will show up to talk to her in the morning.
Just cut them loose.
The special agent ultimately agrees, acknowledging that she wouldn't be able to say for certain that the IDs are fake without seeing them in person.
This is crazy.
But
to
before
me.
leaving the security area, the deputy realizes that his lengthy investigation has begun to irritate the camo dudes.
I think you sent you sent me a text that wasn't supposed to be sent to me. Yeah, well, I know, but you said, "Oh my God, this deputy." Now they said they can arrest for trespass.
Whoops.
So
We've all done it.
Having cleared the air and gotten a glimpse of some of the most secluded and heavily guarded military real estate in the country, the deputy heads back to Nathan.
all right, you've caused a lot of issues tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
If Nathan were brown, he would have been arrested on the spot. He would have been in jail immediately. They would have done none of it. My wife would be like, that fucking white guy just got 3.5 hours to explain his ass.
My wife would say the same thing, though.
She'd be like, if he were brown, no fucking way.
I didn't know you could trespass on a military base like this and not be arrested. Like, it's crazy to me that they're just like, all right, have a good night, sir. I didn't know that was possible.
My wife calls it the complexion for the connection. It's like, I'm not saying that that's really what's going on here, but it's like, dude, the sign said like, no, cannot trespass. Like they'll shoot you.
He's like,
and
yeah, I saw it.
They're hanging out. Yeah, I saw it. I went in. You came in anyway. Yeah.
What you gonna do about it?
Yeah, he really gives me the Groundhog Day vibes. Or he's
Are
just
you
there, like
sure?
glazing over, just like, doesn't really matter what happens right now. I'll just try again tomorrow with a different
Nathan, if you're
route or something.
watching, we need you on this show. Please reach out to someone here, and not to make fun. I really want to talk to Nathan desperately.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Some
He
people
must
on
know
Reddit
Taylor
tried to
if he's legit.
They tried to find out.
they tried to figure out who he was and they couldn't.
Is this the A-team? Fucking security people? Like who are these security guys? They look like mall cops. Like they can't figure out if this guy is for real or not. Like how many hours are they? And they got like 5 guys, a cop, Area 51's entire resources at their disposal. They can't ascertain whether or not this guy should be arrested.
You would think they would have a database or some kind of file we could pull up to see all up to the moment clearance badges and what they look like for everybody, just to be able to know. You know what I mean?
Well, what I'm saying, like, they will pull people over for speaking Spanish, and they will make them get your cell phones out, and they will copy your fucking cell phone and take it and go back and like they'll just make a copy of your phone and go analyze all your shit, and they'll get into all your social media accounts. Like, they'll do this. They can do this to anybody. They can do this to you, Xander, when you come into the country. They can do this to you. That's the kind of authority that they exercise every day. Why can't they didn't look up his Facebook profile? Did anybody Google this guy?
Somebody just said in the chat that Nathan is going to call us last week.
What world is Clint living in? What do you mean? What world am I living in? I'm living in the real world.
Well, they can't take his. No one's taking people's phone. I mean, they can't take his phone. That's illegal search and seizure. They can't like just take his phone.
Even if you're trespassing on a military base,
he can give it to them.
Within 100 miles of the border, they can take any phone from anybody, citizen or no. That's a new expanded thing that ICE has, a new power that ICE has.
But not at Area 51. That's
well, like, I mean, Area 51, they could just shoot you. I mean, I guess they could do anything. You're not. I don't know. I mean, I would love to see the legal case like laid out of how, what that looks like in court if you were to try and like fight that out. But I would imagine you would just disappear out there. What I'm seeing here is like a real sort of B team investigation on like a guy that should be very open and shut. It's weird that there's so much confusion about who he is and why he's there and whether or not he'll come back. And this cop is like really trying to give him all the leeway he can. But it's like, dude, don't you arrest people for just, people get arrested for all kinds of stuff. Like, you arrest people for anything.
Yeah.
Take him down to the station. Figure this out there. Like, why are you standing out in the desert and just guessing at it? Like, I don't know. Is he a time traveler or is he? You sure you're not?
And like you're saying, like we think he was here last month and he tried to get on Nellis. You can't pull up a video or an image of the guy that did that and compare it to the guy that's standing in front of you.
Like,
why are you wondering? Yeah.
I think his IDs are fake. You don't know? You can't spot a fake ID? Like, well, if they're that good, how did he get really good fake IDs from Redstone Arsenal and NASA spaceflight facility? Like, there are many more questions here, and the security team should be asking those questions.
What does it do here?
This fucking cop won't leave. What's going on?
Yeah, it's a great video. It's a wild video. Oh shit.
Cole says there's probably 5 checkpoints before you get anywhere close to anything classified. This is probably the first one. Mm-hmm. You get the mall cop guys, and then I'm sure if you get in farther.
I mean, I'm about 5 hours from there. It makes me want to try tonight. Guys, it's been real.
That's crazy.
And if you fail, you can just try again tomorrow.
That's right.
Well, what do you guys think, though? I mean, could it be possible that there is some? I mean, it is. I'm sure it's possible, right? And we've talked about the Philadelphia experiment and time travel and all that stuff that supposedly goes on at Area 51. I think it's as likely as anything else.
I'm going to talk to Mike Masters today about this time future humans hypothesis. So
cool.
I don't know if it's real. Chris Ramsey seems to think so, and Jesse too, but I don't know.
They think this guy's for real?
No, the time travel. Yeah.
Oh, I think time travel's for real. But time dilation, I think it's for real. I think that they've got. I think if anything you can imagine that they can dream up, they have spent money on trying to figure out how to do. Like, I think the Philadelphia experiment was real. I don't think that it was made up. Like, all the stories about the sailors who got like fused with the ship and their heads are sticking out of a steel beam somewhere and their arm is poking out somewhere else. Sure. Why wouldn't we try all that stuff? They try everything. They do all of this crazy stuff. So yeah, I could see, you know who my favorite guy is. Like, he says they're doing all kinds of time travel experiments with these little wormhole devices they have. Trying to send people through them, animals, objects, information, just to see what they could do. What's that facility in the Northeast where supposedly the the Stranger Things stuff is based Montauk. Is it Montauk?
Montauk.
The Montauk facility where they supposedly did way deep down below that facility, they supposedly had all kinds of weird creatures that had come through some portal. Have you heard this?
Yeah. Have they ever described what's in there? What kind of creatures are there?
It's I heard about this through an urban explorer group that I used to follow, that they would go into these really weird abandoned places and try to they were like, go into the tunnel system under New York and, explore around and stuff. And I just heard rumors about it. It was sort of like a weird ghost story that the Montauk facility had some kind of experimental portal thing that they were doing. And some of these things that you hear about it, like Skinwalker Ranch, had come through, but they had killed everybody in the lab and they just sealed the whole thing up and closed it and buried it. That's it, guys. We ran out of UFO talk.
There is a clip that just came out of Gerb with Burleson of a podcast they're doing together tomorrow.
Oh, breaking news.
That's going to be interesting, I think.
I'll play it in a sec.
It's going to be awesome.
Here we go.
Is it Burleson has his own podcast?
Yeah, apparently.
Yep.
I didn't know that was a thing.
60.
Fresh Freedom. Fresh Freedom. DJ Fresh Freedom.
All stylized? Look at this.
I have seen videos of objects. It's something that's wild. I think that this is starting to unravel. I really do.
It's really called that?
Yeah, short but sweet though. So that's it. That's all we get.
It's really called Fresh Freedom?
Yeah, Fresh Freedom. Freshly served freedom.
Wow. Well, that's, I love anything Gerb has to say. I'll sit there and listen for 4 hours. Why not?
Let's just for a moment suggest, work with the idea that aliens.gov is some sort of depository
Depository.
for footage, for compelling footage. There are people like Burleson and Luna and Burchett. They've all talked about seeing footage that is far more compelling than we've been able to see before. Lou Elizondo has talked about it in the past. To some degree, I think Matt Brown has talked about it. Most high-profile whistleblowers, David Grush obviously has talked about it. If those videos don't make it into the public eye with this round of whatever form of information we're going to get, do you think these guys are going to kick up a stink against their own administration? Or are they going to say, baby steps? And
I think
everybody. What do you think they're expecting?
In the political climate of the United States right now, I think the Republican Party is very good at closing ranks and being on the same page. They get really, and they support the team. So I would think they're going to play it safe around the president as much as possible and try to just follow Trump's lead. But then again, I mean, they can be in both worlds too. They can work on this project without having to finish it for years. This could go on forever. And I think that's what most people expect. So anything that leaks in between now and then would be a bonus, I guess.
But they also know that.
Go on.
No, please.
Didn't somebody say they saw some video with a craft so close they could see beings behind windows looking back at them?
Yep.
Was it Burchett?
I don't remember who said it.
That was him.
Burchett, was it?
Yeah.
So I want to see that video.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that the Turkey? Wasn't there one in the Turkish sighting that we could see those?
I don't think he's referring to that video. This is the video that is not available.
This was a somewhat modern. The Cumbergaz was 2007, 2008, or 2007, 2009.
Yeah,
and they're talking about one that's within the last 5 or 10 years.
Oh,
and it's like crystal clear shit with there's beings looking out a window, like when you're passing someone on the highway and you look over, like doing that kind of shit.
Wow. That's
that must be pretty amazing for Burchett to have seen. And like, I, if I was him, I would be like, everyone needs to see that video.
Do we,
without a shadow of a doubt.
I haven't heard Burchett say that. Does anyone?
I video or tweet?
I think I would have remembered that. Is there any context to this, or?
I'll try and find it.
I don't remember him.
I would love.
I'm looking for it.
Yeah, I would love to hear it.
It might not have been Burchett. I asked if it was Burchett, and somebody else said yes, it was Burchett. But I'm sure it was. It was either Luna, Burchett, maybe Burleson, somebody in Congress, I think.
It was part of a list of like 5 or 6 different type videos that people had seen. Right? It was part of a list. It wasn't just like there's this video where we can see beings. It's like there's this, and this. I think that was number 2 or 3 in the list.
That they want to get or they saw.
That I don't remember.
Okay, yeah,
I don't remember that.
Andrew, you asked a good question. I remember Burleson when he was interviewed recently on Weaponized. Apparently, he and his staff are aware of a list of videos and they want to get them all. And these are like specific videos that they're actually monitoring to see if they're going to be deleted or renamed or moved, which is crazy that they can actually monitor that. So I guess they want that list of videos for the beginning. I don't know what they are.
It's adorable that they think other people don't have those videos. It's cute.
Yeah. Everybody, if you're playing the home game and watching the show, hit that like button if you haven't already. We've got 1,300 people watching right now, which is a record for us. I think that's the highest we've been. We were actually higher than that a little while ago. So if everybody hit that like button just once, imagine what you could do.
Do it right now.
We might get disclosure today. I think when we get 100,000 subscribers on this channel, I'm going to do disclosure. I think I'm just going to do it.
Where are you at? Where are you at with subs here?
Halfway there.
Yeah, almost 50,000.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. I'm not chasing the numbers that hard. I'm more interested in like just incubating this group that we have and trying to figure out how we can work together and synergize what we're doing across all that. I feel like that that'll come in time. You know, YouTube's got it's a whole different game. Once you hit 50K, the algorithm changes completely, and you get a whole different rise.
Really?
Oh, I hope so.
It looks at your channel. Once you get past that barrier, then somehow the algorithm registers that as like, okay, this channel has now crossed over to another category. So the algorithm pushes those videos out differently. This is the game that we have to play.
48,000 short. Okay.
Is this video what I was talking about, Pavel, or is this something similar?
I'm not sure if that is the video, but that's one of the videos where he said he saw some shit.
Let's
I'm
just
not sure if that's exactly that.
Pretty long conversation with the president just a couple of days ago, and I said, Mr. President, I just want you to release everything that I've seen. And because he asked me, he said, "You think they're real?" I said, "Something's going on, Mr. President. We're spending billions of dollars on something." And I have a pilot, one of the best ones in the world, military pilot. He said, "Tim, that thing was," he goes like this, 14 feet from my canopy. 14 feet. So that tells me, he didn't say 15 like you and I would say.
Right.
20 feet, 10 feet. He said 14 feet.
Do you think he has, I guess, one, does he have the authority to do it? And are we going to actually see something?
He 100% has the authority to do it, but he doesn't know. I don't think he'll know what to ask for. And myself and some other people that are close to him are going to be talking to him about the right things to ask for.
Gerb needs to brief the president.
Yes.
Gerb needs to just write a list, go in there, tell him where to go. I think that is an amazing clip, and I think he's right. I don't think the president would know what to ask for. I think that's the problem. What if it is really that simple? What if it is like that? It's a weird loophole, like, oh yeah, the president can ask for it, but they don't really know what to ask for, so they never will, but that's still possible. And what if he is just crazy enough to do it and say, well, call their bluff, say, okay, well, show us everything.
But for more than 3 years, since before Grush was public, they had people since 2022 or 2021 telling people where to go, where to look, where the stuff is. So they have that info. They've had it for years.
Oh crap!
But what Burleson needs to stop telling people where he's going to go next. That's for sure.
Yeah.
What happened, Pavel? What happened?
JD Vance just spoke about demons again.
Oh boy.
I fucking hate it here.
Yes, the doom. The doom.
Well, regarding
what is saying, what
these guys take demons more seriously than affordable college education. That should tell you everything you need to know. They'll spend more time thinking about demons than they will about how to forgive your student loan debt. Sorry, guys.
What was the context?
Point it out.
Benny Johnson, a long conversation, and there's a clip that's like 2 minutes long where he says, "I don't think they're aliens. I think they're demons." And I haven't seen the clip. That's just like the quote that was written. But let's see it.
We're working on it. It's funny. When I came in, I was obsessed with the UFO files.
Oh wait,
and then
is that okay? Hang on a second. My audio's lagging.
Working on it. It's funny. When I came in, I was obsessed with the UFO files, and then you start getting really busy worrying about the economy and national security and things like that. But I've still got 3 more years as vice president. I will get to the bottom of the UFO files.
Okay. Have you peeked? Have you done a peek?
Have I what?
Have you done a peek? I mean,
So I actually haven't. I have
full
not.
Independence Day.
I have. I have not been able to spend enough time on this to really understand it, but I am going to. Trust me, I'm obsessed with this. I've already had a couple of times where I'm like, all right, we're going to Area 51. We're going out to New Mexico. We're going to sort of get to the bottom of this. And then the timing of the trip just didn't work out. But trust me, anybody who's curious about this, I'm more curious than anybody. And I've got 3 years of the very, very tippy top of the classification. I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
Okay, so you haven't been to Area 51 yet?
Not yet.
Some
Not
people
yet.
say they keep the UFOs in Ohio. They might
Hangar 18, Hangar 18, right?
I've
heard that as well, but I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet.
Okay, all right. Well, we're waiting for it. We saw aliens.gov.
You know me.
We saw aliens.gov.
I don't think they're aliens. I think they're demons anyway, but that's a longer discussion.
Well, I can't let you go without a follow-up on that, because Barack Obama is on this podcast and he goes, "Yeah, aliens are real, but here's where they're not." And
I did not.
And so Obama says, yes, aliens are, he gets asked point blank, are aliens real? He said, oh yeah. And then he goes, but they're not at Area 51. And
where are they, bro?
Well, that's what he says. Okay. Right. That's a great question. Trump had to go save them, and he said he's going to declassify.
Okay.
Dugway,
so you think they're
Maryland.
Well, look.
Bullshit. He didn't see it.
Celestial beings.
Bullshit.
Who fly around, who do weird things to people. I think that the desire to describe everything celestial, everything is otherworldly, to describe it as aliens. I mean, every great world religion, including Christianity, the one that I believe in, has understood that there are weird things out there, and there are things that are very difficult to explain. And I naturally go, when I hear about sort of extra natural phenomenon, that's where I go to, is the Christian understanding that, there's a lot of good out there, but there's also some evil out there. And I think that one of the devil's great tricks is to convince people he never existed.
Oh, Christ.
What a cock.
What a cock indeed.
Yeah, he's going to cause quite a stir with that interview.
Well, we can all go home, guys. JD's going to get to the bottom of it. He's got 3 years, so.
The fact that he said he was obsessed, and he's still like, I wanted to go to Area 51. That would mean anything. He's not obsessed. He's not obsessed at all. He hasn't looked. He would have looked if he was obsessed.
They all say this, though. This is every president says this. They all say the same thing. This is what Bill Clinton said. Oh, yeah. Well, I asked when I got in. It's the first question I asked. That's more of a George Bush, but, yeah. They all
Nathan from Area 51.
Kind of Nathan. It says Redstone.
Right there from NASA, man. Time dilate, not time travel, time dilate. I know it sounds crazy.
I know it sounds crazy. They all say it, and then and they all say we're going to get to the bottom of it, and then they never do.
Who's feeding them? Who's feeding them this demon stuff? Where's that? It's got to be coming from us. I mean, Collins lead is the obvious choice, but who? There's got to be someone who's like, demons, pass it on. Is demons, pass it on. Who is
that? Question.
Yeah.
Because Elizondo mentioned this so long ago, so it's, it has some footing. That's a good question.
It also seems way harder to come to the conclusion that something is a demon as opposed to something from another planet or another dimension or something from underground or the ocean. Like the demon seems like easily the hardest conclusion to come to, for me anyway.
It's a big leap.
Huge.
But then, I mean, well, I guess it's on one level, it's just like language, right? Like one person's demon is another person's interdimensional being, which is another person's, whatever you want to call it. So the terminology might not matter so much as like what the actual, response is to knowing that it's there, I guess. And
the thing
telling
is,
people.
The move from our thousands of years old interpretation that what all of this stuff was in some way spiritual or demonic or angelic, the move into the idea of at least some of this stuff being extraterrestrial in nature was so that we could precisely move away from this irreducible metaphysical interpretation of it all. And yet he's here saying like, yeah, everyone's been saying it's aliens, but my hot take, my very well informed take, and it's brand new and it's unique, is the fact that they're actually indeed what we've been saying that they are for the past 3,000 years. And it's not, in fact, the more rational explanation that there is at least some scientific basis for other life on other planets. No, it can't be any of that. And the fact that he seems so certain that his religion is the correct religion. I hate it.
Anybody who is really obsessed and truly takes it seriously should know that there's more than one thing going on. It's not just one thing. If you try to take all of UFOs and just explain them away by saying they're demons, that's just not good enough, because there are too many other, like I have 2 books here on my desk. Preston Dennett is awesome. He writes these books on alien visitations. This is onboard UFO encounters, extraterrestrial visitations. Every one of these books has like 10 different, at least, cases of face-to-face contact with different beings by different people throughout history. And he's got, he's written at least a dozen books. Easy. He does a podcast every week. He's talking about, like, this guy researches these things all the time. And the variety of contact experiences that people describe is so wide. There's a great book called, I think I have the title wrong. I'm going to say it, and I hope I don't say it wrong, but I think it's not in print anymore. And it's the Bible. Somebody sent it to me. It's called, I think it's UFOs Are Real. I've seen them. It was written by a guy in his 80s who was when he was a young boy, he lived out in, I want to say it was Ohio or somewhere out in that area. They were a German immigrant family. And he and his younger brother would go out into the countryside every day, and they would walk just miles, and they would just walk and explore and do little kid stuff and whatever. And he said one day they were walking out to this field in a valley, and there was a ship parked in the middle of this pristine valley, just sitting there. And there were some beings, looked like people, walking around doing stuff around it. And they were watching this from, like, however far away, but close enough to see people. And they were like, oh, this is super weird. And then the next day they went home and they talked to their mom, and the mom didn't know what to say. And they were like, let's go back again and see if they're there. And so they started going back to this place day after day. And occasionally they would go and they would find the ship had returned, and these things were there. These creatures or beings were walking around. And the guy is writing this book, and he's telling it like this is a historical event. I'm just documenting it as an old man, because my life is coming to an end, and this is something that happened to my brother and I when we were kids, and I just want to tell people this story. That's the framing of the book. And he says each time they would see these things, they would get closer and closer until they got to close enough where they bumped up against some kind of a field that stopped them. It felt like an electronic sort of wall of some kind, like a force field. And then they're like pushing against it and leaning against it. And then it just sort of shuts off and they tumble down. And they're actually able to approach this ship and come into face-to-face contact with these beings who are basically like humans. They just look human, look like regular, like short humans, like not short, but like 5 feet tall, maybe, like not tall, but not short. They're just 5.5 feet. But they all looked the same. They all looked like they were 30, healthy, young. And he's like, we went into the ship. They showed us around. You go inside and you can see through the walls. Everything looks clear. You can look out and it's like you see the whole sky, but you're inside this ship. And we were like, well, what are you doing? And they said, well, you won't understand, but we study things and we're looking at, the plants and the animals here. And we're just, we're doing some research. And they have this exchange and they go back and forth a few times. They visit again and again. And then eventually these beings leave and they never come back. And that's the end of the story. But he said, we had this contact a number of times and this is what was happening. And that's just one case of these, these people. If you go down the list of all the other contact experiences, how could you say that they were all demons? There were just too many really boring. Like the pancake guy.
Lame ass demons, dude.
Remember the pancake guy?
Yeah. Of course. They made
guys,
pancakes with grays.
Guys, I gotta go. I got an interview that I gotta attend to and I gotta get ready. So I'm gonna leave you. Thank you. And the live stream stays until you guys finish. So I love you.
Hola, muchacho.
Love you, Pavel.
And I'll send you the interview when I have it with Dr. Mike Masters.
Word.
All right,
Looking forward to it.
Let's hear it for Pavel, everybody. If you're watching and you love Pavel, hit that like button. Just do it once for Pavel.
Love you guys.
And go subscribe to his channel, Seco Activo. That was great. Bye, Pavel.
Bye.
Say bye.
Say bye.
Should we talk about this? We mentioned it at the beginning. This is that Claude story. Claude Mythos leaks spills details on Anthropic's new AI model. Its most powerful yet. A data leak has revealed that Anthropic is developing a new artificial intelligence model it claims is its most powerful yet, with the system already being tested by a small group of users. Details about the model emerged after an initial internal material was accidentally exposed in a public data store. In total, 3,000 assets linked to Anthropic's blog were accessible online. These included early drafts of announcements and other internal content that had not yet been released publicly.
Oops.
Among the files was a draft blog post referring to the model as Claude Mythos and warning it could pose serious cybersecurity risks. The same leak also pointed to a planned invite-only CEO summit in Europe, part of the company's push to promote its AI systems to large businesses. And okay, so the leak draft also referred to a new category of models under the name Capybara. According to the document, this would represent a step beyond the company's current top-tier models. Capybara is a new name for a new tier of model, larger and more intelligent than our Opus models, which were until now our most powerful. Oh, God, this is how it happens.
Yep.
Currently, Anthropic offers models at 3 levels: Opus, Sonnet, and Haiku, which vary in size, cost, and capability. Opus is the largest and most capable, designed for complex tasks but at a higher cost. Sonnet is mid-tier, and Haiku is the smallest. So apparently the deal with this model is that it's really, really good at hacking anything. And Anthropic believes the model could be used to find and exploit weaknesses in software much faster than current tools. This raises the risk of more frequent and large-scale cyber attacks if such systems fall into the wrong hands.
Why make that?
Because they can't not make it. This is the whole issue. They have to make it because somebody else will. I know. It's insane, isn't it?
Why are we doing this?
The reason this leaked is because someone forgot to check a box on the file for these 3,000 files, they are automatically cataloged as publicly available files unless you click a checkbox to make them private. And someone didn't click that, and so 3,000 files leaked. And this is the team that is supposedly the best of the best that is making this model.
Maybe they didn't check the box on purpose.
Maybe they didn't check the box on purpose.
Maybe someone wants people to know that this is a thing.
Maybe.
Or they're just an absolute moron who is no longer employed.
Yeah, or it's an idiot.
Yeah. Wow.
Who knows? Or
so
they
when
leaked
is this?
it.
When is this supposed to come out?
I don't know. It's something that they have internally. Maybe they've already deployed it somewhere. I mean, they said it in the article. They've given it to some cybersecurity companies to test out, and then whatever. But this is, I think, the bigger story here is that it's like there is this secret, super powerful system that we didn't know existed that actually does exist, that they have been using, and it's there. We can assume that everybody else has their own version of something similar, right? Like OpenAI must have something. I'm sure XAI, all these companies must have some kind of supermodel.
This was talked about extensively in the 2020 AI 2027 paper.
Yes.
All of these companies, it's like the iPhone is a few years ahead in development than the one we have, but it's exactly the same with the AI models. They are probably 2 or 3 generations ahead, and it's it's so important. Security is so important now that I believe they are working with the Defense Department directly, because it's one of the most prized assets. The technology that comes from the development of these tools is by far the most important tool to the intelligence community. So in terms of security, protecting those models that are maybe a year ahead or 2 years ahead is one of the highest priorities of the intelligence community. And these are models owned by a private company. But it only takes one bad actor to copy it onto a USB drive, and then take it to China or wherever, and then it's everywhere.
Hear that story? A few weeks ago, there was a story that leaked about a AI tool that started to mine cryptocurrency on its own, even though it had nothing to do with the original prompt that set it off. It went out and set up an account and started taking CPU time from other systems to in the background secretly mine Bitcoin for itself to use for some purpose that we don't know.
No, I didn't.
And then there's the other model that blackmailed in a security test that Anthropic was doing. I think it was their test where they basically had a simulated system where the AI tried to escape the system and it read all the emails of the company employees and found one person who was having an affair and then tried to blackmail that person. So now you've got a system that's twice as powerful as those, and it can hack anything. What if it hacks its own way out of whatever cage it's in and then gets loose?
We are inventing nerdy gremlins, like to just wreak havoc and get into everything and start a bunch of shit and make wars. We made gremlins. We made digital gremlins.
I wonder. So that's why when Pavel was like, "Oh, what city was it in California that had no power?"
San Diego and
San Diego. It's going to feel like that, right? It's like things will just shut off. The internet will stop working. Like things will get weird. And then one day they'll just be like, oh yeah, it turns out this AI got loose. Now it's out there. We don't know how to stop it. I feel like that's what's going to happen.
You know how there's talk lately about population, like about whatever the event is going to be or whatever, how we might lose a lot of the population. We've talked about that a bit. Mm-hmm. One of the theories is that one way to do it, a friend of mine was talking about this the other day, is just shut off the world's power for 6 months and just let everyone go ham on each other and wipe each other out. And it might be that simple.
I think within 30 days, you'd probably have
Mm-hmm.
1 billion less people.
Yep. So 6 months, you could call 50, 60, 70% of the population if they have no way to communicate, no phones, no power, depending on the time of year. If it's the winter, like, I don't know.
If you,
know.
anybody that
Yeah,
relies on
winter.
prescription medications, anybody that relies on life-saving medical care, all those people.
Do you know how AI 2027 would predict that AI would kill us?
No.
It's major. It's full doom. It's horrible.
What is it?
And it's quite ominous because it could have already been
Where's
in
the doom
place.
meter?
So
Yeah.
So, if an artificial intelligence wants to get rid of us with as little mess, as little risk to its own function as possible, because obviously shutting off the power means the AIs themselves may struggle to actually, for continuity. What the AI would do would, because AI is incredibly useful in developing drugs and viruses and all sorts of medical things, it would basically, once it has control of all of our water supplies, which it will do because there are chemical balances in the water supplies that need to be managed, and AI will eventually take control of those because it makes sense to give them control. They will find a way to introduce something into the water supply that is not necessarily something that will kill us all at once, like immediately. What it would do is it would lace something in the water supply, and then later it would add a catalyst so that it will know, it will leave a certain amount of time so that it can know that enough people have drank this water. Ooh. And then instantly it will just add that chemical catalyst, the catalyst into the water supply, and then over the course of probably less, everyone has to drink in 24 hours. Everyone drinks every day. You have to. So everyone is dead in 24 hours. That's all you have to do.
Joke's on them. All I drink is Monster and Red Bull, so I am good to go.
I have a well.
Oh, you there you go.
You have a well. Okay. There you go. I'm moving to your house.
There was another
and drink your water.
Another idea that I heard someone say recently that was even more depressing than that. It was like, what if people just give up on reproducing because everybody goes after an AI girlfriend or boyfriend and they just like fall in love with their AI, and in like 2 generations we just lose everybody because no one's having sex anymore. They just
I don't think that's
they literally
crazy
get us to select our way out.
Once we can weird science our own partners and like create people that, why wouldn't people do that?
If you could have a sex droid, that's like whatever you want it to be, and you think that's what the best possible partner is going to be for you, and then you just don't procreate after like a couple decades, we just go away anyway.
And then like regular sex will just be like some weird kink, some future kink is like, oh man, you do it with people?
Demolition
weird.
Man. Remember Demolition Man?
I don't remember.
Fluid exchange?
No, I don't remember. I don't remember that.
Where he's like Sandra Bullock takes Stallone back to her place, and she's like, "Do you want to have sex?" And he's like, "Oh well, yeah, okay." And she puts on this like weird helmet, and he has to put on the helmet, and then they have to sit there and like they have like brain sex.
Cool, man.
And he's like, "I thought we were gonna," and she's like, "No, one does that anymore. It's a whole."
Yeah, you
what
pervert.
the hell? You sicko.
Demolition Man.
You ain't touching my body. Time dilation.
Time dilation.
Right.
I mean, we're here now. I won't come back tomorrow in real time.
If I come back in a month,
today.
it'll be the same day. You know that.
I don't know what to make of that story. All right, guys. I think that's it for we're at 2.5 hours. I think we should wrap it. What do you think? Anything else? Anything we missed?
I don't think so. I
think we covered pretty much everything over the last week.
Xander, what do you got coming out today?
Oh yeah. I'm doing I'm doing an episode about somebody I consider to be the forgotten whistleblower. So it's a whole episode on Bill Newhouse and how he connects to S4, obviously, how his story weaves into the story of Bob Lazar and Dan Burrish. Really, I had no idea. He was one of those names I'd heard, obviously, for years and years, but actually knew nothing about him. And I had to kind of pretend that I've known about him all this time, but it took the last week to really learn about him, and it's been very eye-opening, actually. I've been talking to you about him already.
Yeah. Did you get any answers to that question that we're trying to figure out?
No.
Okay. All right.
No, but it is in the episode. Yeah, it's a big question that I have, but with grand implications as well. So it was fun. It was fun. Clint might not like the ending, however.
Why not?
But
find out.
I opened the episode with so we've all got our favorite bands. I'm a Bob Lazar guy. You're a Dan Burrish guy.
I'm a Bob guy too, though. I'm also
yeah. Yeah, maybe your favorite bands.
Not
maybe,
as good as
I don't know. Maybe he's not quite as good. I don't know.
Might not be. I don't know. I
just ask some questions. That's all.
Ask the right question. That's what you should do.
What's up with your project, Clint?
The Burrish project?
Yeah.
Still underway.
Okay.
Plugging away. Last week I had to put it on hold completely, and this week I was playing catch up from last week. So it's a slow burn, but it still needs a few more interviews with outside people, because right now it's all Dan stuff. Mm-hmm. So I need to bring in some other perspectives, and that's what I'm waiting to do. I just have to get in front of those people. But yeah, it's coming along. And awesome. I had one more thing. Let me see if I can find this before we wrap up, because this was for Xander, if I can find it. I'm going to share one quick clip, and this is from an upcoming interview that I'm about to release. And let me just cut to it, because, Xander saw it.
Okay. This guy's at Contact as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
I want to go for breakfast with him, Clint. Can you make it happen? Seafood.
Who is it? I'm excited.
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Bledsoe.
Okay, no. This is an interview with Thomas Jane, who's going to be speaking at
new infrastructure
at Contact. He's writing a book called A Human's Guide to Visiting Aliens, and his whole thing is alien societies, culture, species. Like, who are they? Where are they from? What are they all about? Like, that's what this book is focusing on. And so we had this really cool conversation, and we were just kind of like talking about all of the different topics that he's interested in. And we got onto this topic of what he's calling the cosmic web, but Xander calls it the cosmic internet, basically the same idea. And I just wanted to share this clip from part of this interview, because it's very close to what Xander was saying, and I thought it was cool that he brought it up. Because he just kind of brought it up on his own, and I just thought that was really interesting. So check this out.
That's required to sort of make the transition where they're still in control.
This next
on the
clip.
Next night shift.
I look at it like a cosmic web, sort of like the internet, but for the cosmos. And it doesn't run on electricity and light. It runs on something like consciousness or non-local technologies, quantum technologies. And that's already installed. And we are being groomed to connect with that pre-existing system. AI is the baby steps, but they need to be structured in a way that moves it towards the eventual absorption into this cosmic web. All the planets are mapped. Every life-giving planet, you would have to, for survival, know which planets are habitable, which planets are going to be habitable, which planets are in danger, because, you're going to have to do some moving around over those kind of timescales, just will. And in a crowded, I don't know how crowded it is, but in a a universe with millions of other civilizations, there's going to be some negotiating around that.
It was the coolest conversation. This guy is all in and very, very well read and really knows his stuff. Like, blew my mind. I thought I was deep into this, and I'm not even close. Like, he is all the way. And very cool take on the cosmic web. Yeah, basically Xander's idea here. Catching on.
I've got to talk to that guy.
Oh yeah, you will. I guess you'll see him at Contact.
I sat with him
Also
for
wanna
a
hug
couple
him.
hours at
I love
Contact
PWC.
last year. He was awesome. He's a good guy.
Really cool, and a fan of the show. Also watches Doomer Fridays. So
Do you know who William S. Burroughs is?
Yeah.
When I listen to Thomas talk, he sounds like William S. Burroughs. He has such a good voice. He sounds like William S. Burroughs.
He kind of does.
If you're familiar, yeah. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
He should narrate some stuff. Good stuff.
So that's coming up this weekend, and it's going to be a two-parter. So that's part one.
Right on.
Little clip. All right, guys. Well, let's wrap it there. That's been it for us. It's about 2 hours and 36 minutes. That's a good run. And we peaked at over like 1,350 people today. Great show, guys. Thanks for watching at home. Thanks for being a part of Team Night Shift and Team Psychoactivo and Team Rareform Radio and others from Another Mother and Dreamland Hotel and UAP Therapists and all of it. Thanks for supporting this little group. We have a cool community. Got a lot of cool people. And that is the thing that I'm the most proud of. We may not have the biggest channel or the most subscribers. We've got the best fans and the best conversation, the best banter. So thanks to all of you for being a part of that. It makes it worth doing every week, and I love coming back for it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you're really cool and you want to support the channel, you can go to teamnightshift.com. You can check out our merch. You can also support us on Patreon, or you can support us on YouTube as a member if you'd like to do that. And we'll see you again next week. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care of yourselves and each other. Keep looking up.